Beep boop beep. Beep boop beep boop beep. Beep boop beep 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 boop boop beep bop. Beep bop 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 skeeta bop 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 boo doo boop ba doop doo. Skeeta bop 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 ba doop doop doo. Hey, what's up, people? How's it going?
Hello.
How's it going? Are you flowing?
Hello.
I gotta bring back the background. I killed it. There we go. All right. Hey,
there
everything
it
reset. It actually reset. What's up, Kyle?
Nice.
What's up, Megberg? What's going on?
Hello, everyone. Popping out the chat.
All right. I think we got audio from both of us. That's good.
Yes.
That's guten Tag. Guten Tag. All right. Let me go close
This
the
over
windows
here.
that I don't need.
Bring this one over here. Badang. Bow. Shboot boot. Good.
Whoa, that was
Good.
Weird. What happened here?
I don't know.
Oh, so I run a program. If you guys don't have this program, it's absolutely amazing. It's called Uniget UI. So UNI Get UI. It's free. It's a free app you download. It's basically a UI front end to WinGet, but it also adds things like NuGet and what is it, Cargo.
NuGet? I like NuGet. That's like the stuff in
it is
Three Musketeers, right?
Yeah, it basically supports every package. Like here, I got the list right here. So it supports WinGet, Scoop, Chocolatey, npm, pip, which is like the package installer for Python, Cargo, which is the Rust package manager, VCPKG, which is like Visual C packet manager for Visual Studio, .NET Tools, PowerShell 5 and PowerShell 7. These are all supported for like updating apps and updating dependencies. And what it does is it monitors everything on your computer and looks for newer versions. And then when it finds a newer version, it alerts you and then asks you if you want to update. And then it lets you like choose options when you do the update, or you just have to do a blanket update with everything every day. And it's actually really freaking cool. I quite like it. Hey, what's up, Anthony Mangione? How's it going? Dude, everybody thought I was dead because I went another week without streaming on Twitch. Bro, I've been rough.
Need proof of life, man.
No, this is my proof of life. I've been rough. So I went and saw the doctor, I think it was about a week and a half ago. And he wanted to get me off gabapentin, which is a nerve blocker that I take to like actually be able to survive with my pain in my back. He wanted to take me off it with there's no other alternative. Like this is it. This is the drug. So because there's some links to it in like dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that in older people. So he's like, what the study's showing this, maybe we should like start getting you off that. So I tried to come off of it. Fucking nightmare. Absolute nightmare. The pain was intolerable. Plus, I'm on a reduced dose of pain medication because we tried to mix pain medications. We tried to do a fast-acting pain medication alongside a slow-acting medication, and it didn't work because the slow-acting medication clogs up the opioid receptors, which means when I take the fast-acting medication, I have to wait 24 to 48 hours. Otherwise, it just doesn't even get absorbed. I just piss it out and it does nothing. And so what's the point of fast-acting if you have to wait for the slow-acting to fail first before you can use it, which then puts you in even more pain? Anyways, it was a whole clusterfuck. Everything went wrong. I talked to the doctor. He's shifting it back around. I'm going back on a high dose of the slow-acting pain medication. We're getting rid of the fast-acting pain medication altogether, which is basically what I was on like 6 months ago. Because so far, I'm not operating even at the level I was 6 months ago. So they're like, okay, let's just go back to what we know. Start over, reset. So today is the first day that I'll be, after the live stream today, I'll be starting the first dose of the new regimen of medication. And so I've been laid up. I haven't even been up to the nerd cave, I think, in like 4 or 5 days. And then when I did come up here, I got hurt from sitting in the chair for 2 hours, like so bad that I was laid up in bed for like another 3 days. And it just, everything I did, going outside, trying to do little things, it just boom, laid up in bed again. And so it's been a little bit of a nightmare. And then that combined with just all the mental stress of shit going on in the world, and not only just shit going on in the world, like shit going on in my neighborhood. You know, just with the drama going on in my neighborhood, it's been flaring up again. Fucking cops are here in the cul-de-sac like every other day, and it's just it's been a lot to handle. But thankfully, Tech Talk, it's like no matter how bad I feel obligated to do it because you're here, and that's a good thing. Like you're my anchor. I couldn't do this without my Aux. If Aux wasn't here, I'd cancel the show just because like there's no way I could do this solo. But I got my coffee. I drug my ass out of bed. But I'm going to pay for it. This is the thing. People never see this. After I do Tech Talk, people are like, well, sometimes you push too far because, you know, you stream after AuxxZillary's for like another 3 or 4 hours. The reason I do that is because my back eventually will go numb. And when it goes numb, I know I'm fucked. I know I'm laid up. So I might as well just go as long as I can. And then as soon as I'm done and I go lay down, then the damage starts occurring. So it's one of those things where it's like you're already screwed. So you might as well just get as much mileage out of it, knowing that you're going to get punished for it anyway. Same thing happens when I'll be like working on the car. I'll twinge my back. I'll be sitting there. I'll twinge my back and I'll go, oh shit, that's a sciatic pinch. That's a really bad sciatic pinch. on the other side that's not permanently pinched. And then I'm like, well, both sides being pinched at the same time. There's no way I'm going to sleep for like a week. So then I'm just like, fuck it. Try to do as much as I can. It feels like there's warm water running down my leg and shit, and it's fully numb. My skin sensitivity is 0. You could like burn my skin. I wouldn't even feel it. And then as soon as you chill out, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. Tutorial Clan said, I mean, you can call Jay's 2 cents. Jay's 2 cents isn't going to do no fucking Tech Talk live stream with me, dude. he's busy. He's busy doing other shit. He's not going to come on, you know, a 100 live viewer show. He's not. Besides, he gave me Tech Talk because he doesn't want to do Tech Talk anymore. He said he didn't want to do Tech Talk anymore. So
yeah, like years ago. Yeah,
he said he has no interest in Tech Talk anymore. He's doing his thing. That's why he handed it over to me. But it's all good. It's all good. Let's see what else we got here in chat. How are you guys doing this week? Samsung, Google still selling 128 gigabytes on $800 phones. At least Apple increased to 256 gigabytes on the iPhone 17.
And is the iPhone 17 $800? No,
isn't it like doesn't it start at like 1,100 or something?
I'm sorry, but what kind of argument is that?
Maybe he's talking about the non-pro. The non-pro, I think, might start.
And like, look, I don't give a fuck one way or the other about iPhone or Android, Samsung, whatever. But like, you can't compare an $800 phone to like a $1,200 phone. Like, because I guarantee if you wanted a 256 gigabyte Samsung, it's going to cost about the same. Here, let's look. What's the latest Samsung is a 25, right? The Galaxy
I'm gonna look up the
25
phone right now. So the iPhone 17 regular. So this is the regular
25
one.
And now I may have popped off because I don't.
No,
my phone is
you did.
Two
you put your foot.
behind.
You put your foot in your mouth. $799 for $799.
That's fair. I'm willing. So okay, $1,300 for a 256 gig Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Okay, that's tippity top. And so iPhone 17 Pro with 256.
No, not the Pro. Look at the regular iPhone 17.
Oh, well, I'm not looking at the regular Samsung Galaxy either.
Oh, look at the regular Samsung Galaxy. Let's do apples to apples here.
Okay.
Because the Pro models are always going to cost
25. More. Okay, so the S25, what? Just the S25 or the SE?
Just S25. Just the S25.
Okay. The S25 at 256 gigabytes, $859.
So yeah, so it is more. It is $59 more than what, or $60 more than what Apple's selling the iPhone for.
And I get a better screen. I get all of the Android stuff, all of the like newer.
I mean, it's subjective.
All the better junk that Apple is still catching up on.
Technically,
and Apple, I don't have to deal with that glass. That fucking weird
I will say the glass
UI
is
update that they fucking did.
The glass is definitely ass. I'll give you
that. I talk shit. Look, most everybody I know, other than fucking nerds like me, are all on Apple. Like, yeah.
I feel like Android and Apple have pretty much reached parity with their products.
Pretty much. It's all tribalism and stuff. So I apologize. I apologize to NJS for being kind of a smarmy dick right there, but. At the same time, the whole iPhone versus Android stuff is just me. It's all in good fun. Like I don't give a fuck.
I am surprised.
I like picking on Apple people and my green text bubbles. That kind of stuff.
To be fair,
funny.
I am surprised that iPhone is selling a 256 gigabyte any model for that matter for $700. Like that's actually very un-Apple of them.
Right.
But I know the Pro Max got a huge price increase. They kept the price for the regular one, but I know the Pro got like $100 increase or something like that.
$799.
Yeah, isn't the Pro Max like the top tier Pro Max like $1,600 or something like that? It's something ridiculous, dude. Let's see if I can find it here.
Website is bullshit. I'm already tired. I'm scrolling through Apple's website for the iPhone 17 and I'm like, just give me the tech specs in a freaking table.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? What the hell is a iPhone 16e? Like, what does the E entail?
I don't know.
I've never even heard of one. I just noticed it on the list. It's like there's an E. There's like a 16 and a 16e. So, the 17 Pro Max. Here we go. Let's see how much.
Don't even mention the 256 thing on here.
Actually, wait. The Pro Max starts at $1,100. I want to say I spent $1,500 for my 1 terabyte one.
It's not even on the website. I scrolled through this whole website. I don't even see where they mentioned 250. Oh, there it is on the buy page.
Yeah. Remember, Apple doesn't really care about stats like Google does. Like they're more selling an experience. It's about the magic. It's not about the stats. The stats don't mean anything. I will say though that I watched a couple videos on the Google Pixel 10 versus the iPhone 17 Pro Max for video quality and image quality, and the iPhone I feel still spanks it. Like honestly, I don't know why either, because I feel like Android should be able to match iPhone, even with like all the software. And I know a lot of it's software kajiggery. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. It's not like they're using some fancy sensor that's better. They have better software behind it.
Oh yeah,
that's what it comes down to. Is it's the software manipulating the image that's giving it that look.
I still think Samsung beats them when it comes to pictures. I think
really?
Apple's video is better, but I think Samsung's photos are better.
Actually, I think that's fair because doesn't it have a way higher megapixel sensor too? If I remember right, the Samsung, you're talking about the Samsung Note, right? Like the Note series?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like they call it the Plus now or Ultra. They dropped the Note designation, but it's the Ultra now. Yeah. Honestly, I would say even the base model, probably Samsung's photos better, Apple's video better, even on the base model.
Yeah. I agree. And even my wife has the base model iPhone. She's never gone for the Pro because she likes the small fits in her hand easier.
You know what? I would totally rock something that was the size of the iPhone 4. Like, I think the iPhone 4C, that plastic one they did, was primo. It is, that to me is and this is coming from somebody who has had a Note since the Note 10. I've gotten all of the Note versions since the Note 10. If I was
going to get a phone, it would either be a Google Pixel or a Note. And the only reason I picked the Google Pixel, alongside the Note, is because it gets the Android updates faster, because Google always gives their first party update to their own phone, and then everybody else has to.
Yes. But I like the size of the iPhone 4C. It, to me, for like a daily driver, it's perfect hand, because like I find myself, oh man, I try to reach the far side of the screen is super awkward. It's just a little bit too wide. It's just a little bit too tall. I would totally, and I probably might, when this finally gets to be too much and I'm going to upgrade, I probably will get a smaller phone.
I actually like how iPhone handles it. Is like you just pull down from the side here, and it'll there you go, and it pulls it down so everything's within view.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
The 5C, okay, the 5C. My bad. Yeah, but they did that plastic one, and I think you can still get it's an older one now, but I think they kept that form factor for a couple generations, and I think that is the perfect size in my opinion, and I bet Steve Jobs would agree with me. I think that small, even like you go all the way back to the iPhone 3GS, that 4-ish inch screen is perfect for the average viewer, the average user.
If Steve Jobs was here today, there would only be one iPhone. There would only be one iPhone. He was a strict believer in don't give people options. Tell them what they need.
Yeah, it was the perfect form factor. The size of it was fine.
Yep.
He'd
put every feature into it.
I think he'd flip out at the iPads too. I think the iPad.
He'd put every feature in it and say, if you're poor people, you shouldn't have it. They did the same thing with their computers. Remember, when the Mac Classic came out? It's like there wasn't a huge range of Mac Classics with the price was I want to say it was like the top tier versus the lowest tier was like $1,000 difference, and it started in the 2,500 to 3,000 range. It was up there. It was stupid expensive for what it was. And the funny thing is, for the same price of a Mac Classic, you could get an IBM PC clone that had 4 times the memory, fucking VGA color graphics, sound card, the works. The absolute works. Hey, Altonian, thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Woo! Thank you so much for the 10 poundaroos. I think that comes out to 13 US. He said, Windows Phone 10 was the greatest phone OS ever created, and Ballmer ought to be smacked for messing it up. It wasn't just Ballmer. There was a lot of bad moves that fucked that over, but I agree, it would have been cool.
I think Microsoft could make a big comeback in mobile.
100%.
With the way they're trying to do Xbox everywhere and all that stuff. If they teamed up with Asus and they put out like they're doing with the Steam Deck competitor,
they're doing a handheld, right?
If they did a ROG phone that came, buy this phone and you'll get 2 years free of Xbox Game Pass, it'd be $1 billion like that. Bunch of fucking sweaty nerds would totally buy that shit up instantly, and you can play all your Xbox games on it, and then you can play and it's the same on your Windows, it's the same on your this and that, dude. They would,
There's nothing
and why not?
And why not?
It could still be Windows 11 OS or whatever the fuck. Make it they could run Windows. Why not? Who cares?
Before they shut the project down, they already had everything building from the desktop kernel, which means if they wanted to reactivate that project, all they got to do is call up HTC. say, build us some ARM devices, some ARM phones.
Yep.
And then once the phones are built, they already could just rebuild the operating system on the latest Windows 11 code base, and they could start from there.
I've had this thought for a while, and Samsung DeX is almost there, but Microsoft is on a good path where they could make it where your phone is your whole the whole ecosystem. 100%. You come home, you stick your phone in a little dock and that's got an external graphics card thing whatever. Yep. And it knows, I'm in my dock, and now you've got it on your fucking big monitor, right?
Yep.
And now you can play all your Xbox Game Pass games. It's still a full Windows experience, all that stuff. And then as soon as you're done, you take your phone with you and everything is still there. You got all of your email, you still got all your Windows stuff, all of the things are there. You just have a little bit less processing power because now you're in mobile mode. But then when you stick it in the special dock, now you've got extra boost stuff to play your big games at 4K and all that shit. Bro,
They already have an ARM version of the operating system.
Yeah,
you can already install Windows 11 on ARM, so you can totally just build any ARM phone. You should be able to deploy. You know what would actually be cool is if they didn't restrict it to phone. They made it so it worked on any ARM device. So any old Android phone, fuck it, just put a different operating system on it and just take it over.
Sure, I don't see. Why not?
Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't. Right? I mean, other than maybe like some firmware blocking shit that they put in like the EUFI equivalent on ARM or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they would end up partnering with a hardware vendor to make it work. Of course, they're not gonna make it so that you can install it on anything you want.
Oh, to answer Roger's question, HTC is still around, by the way. So they build budget phones now, but budget Android phones, Wildfire and Desire series. Oh, they have some mid ranges too.
HTC was pretty tight. They had some really cool stuff. They were tip top for a while.
Yeah,
I remember HTC was like the shit.
Yep. The other difference between like Android and ARM phones versus iOS is like iOS uses a unified memory architecture. Similar to so it's like you just have 256 gigs of RAM and it shares everything with everything. Whereas with an Android phone, you still have like 12 gigs or 16 gigs of system RAM or less, depending on the phone. And then you have the storage RAM. Right. That you can like upgrade stuff, and then you have like the slow RAM, which is like the SD card and shit. Some of the models you can put it. Yeah. Can you put an SD card in a Google Pixel? Does the Pixel still support SD card?
I don't know. I don't know if any phones allow you to do that anymore.
I thought the Note did. I thought the Note that was like a big thing with the Note.
I think mine was the last. The S23 was the last one that had.
Really?
Actually, I don't even. Because I have there's phone memory versus extended. If I remember right, let me look. Let me look at my storage real quick. I'm pretty sure they're separate.
You're right. The latest Samsung Galaxy Note models do not support SD cards anymore.
Yeah,
which
is dumb. I think they should. I think they should. Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like that was one of the biggest differentiating factors that like Apple couldn't replicate?
Yes.
Like honestly, if you're gonna do Android, you should hang on to the features that Apple can't replicate.
Yeah,
like having like the DeX desktop, having the external storage.
It blows
all those
my
things
mind.
Are big.
Apple's this close to doing what I just said of having a full, perfectly seamless experience where you don't need to buy. But see, of course, they want you to buy all these extra devices. But there is such a small difference nowadays between iOS. And then they split out iPad OS and then Mac OS. Like there's such a slim difference between them all that there is no reason why I shouldn't be able to just plug my iPhone into a monitor and now have a full Mac experience.
To be fair, they have been merging their operating systems like iOS has. Like iOS, the operating system on the iPhone and on the iPad are very close now.
Yes,
they're very closely related.
Really, the biggest difference there is just like resolution stuff and whatnot.
Right.
But I thought back when Swift was launched, I thought they were on a path of merging their desktop and mobile operating systems. I thought that was their plan, was that they were going to go a full, like it's all basically the same operating system. And now they like splintered it off. It's super weird. Yeah. And I think it's to force you to buy more products. It's to force you to buy a MacBook. It's to force you to buy an iPhone, an iPad, a Mac. Like, yeah.
I was just gonna say that too. I was like the biggest differentiator between Android and Apple right now, I should say Google and Apple right now with their offerings is Google tries to create a very open product. However, to be fair, Google has been closing it down a lot lately. Like they're trying to put the screws to people. But the thing is, Apple has always been a closed platform where as long as you buy all their shit within their ecosystem, you have an amazing experience.
Right.
However, with Android, you can venture out, but your experience may vary. Right.
Right.
So Apple has always been let's keep everything inside, all the money inside, like with the Apple Watch and the Apple this and the Apple that and the iPad and it's like you set your iPad and your iPhone next to your fucking Mac M2 or M3 or whatever, and it'll extend the screen out to the other two devices automatically if you have it configured and stuff. So it's like it's a easier experience overall. However, I will say Android has become much more intuitive. I played around with Android and an emulator, like I haven't used Android in years. And I played around with the latest Android and an emulator, and I was like, God damn it, this is basically iOS now. Like, it feels very iOS-esque. Like, the login screen, the way you flip between the applications, the widgets, the things at the bottom. I feel like iOS and Android have borrowed so many things from each other over the years. Like, every time one gets a good idea, the next generation, they just steal it and create their own version of it. That I feel like, and even FaceTime, like, you can do FaceTime on a fucking Android now.
Yeah.
So it's like they solved the FaceTime problem. They solved the messaging problem. No more of the green bubbles. You know, the fucking green bubbles when you're talking to Android people with like the 640, 480 fucking graphics going through SMS over this.
My fucking login thing is all whack. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this has got my fucking...
What are you trying to log into?
Nothing. It's my YouTube says my full name.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah. Oh, it's because I'm not... for crying out loud. I'm not logged in on the right. I'm not logged in on my right account.
Oh, I do that all the time. I do that all the time and have a panic. I'm like, where did all my videos go?
Whatever. No, I mean, everybody knows my name anyway. Whatever. It's just so I reinstalled Windows, right? Yeah. So I haven't set all my stuff up. I haven't, you know.
Well, the thing is though, is like that's not the YouTube channel they would normally go to. They'd go to your normal YouTube channel, which doesn't have your full name on it.
Right. I don't know why that's even an option.
Yeah, I have, here, let's see, how many YouTube accounts do I have? Do you guys want to know? Who wants to know how many YouTube accounts I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 YouTube accounts.
Is that what it is?
So, yeah, I have lots of YouTube accounts.
This one?
Let's see here.
There we go. Okay, now I gotta fucking do my auth stuff.
Do your thing, brother. While you're doing that, I'm gonna go send out that screen that I forgot to do, that I always forget to do. Oh, easy there, Turbo. Don't fucking die on me.
Don't smoke, kids. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. All right, here we go.
Learn from my mistakes.
All right, let's see. Okay, I sent it there. Let me go to Facebook. Gotta go to Facebook. Gotta go to Beast Guy. Sir, do you require tech support?
No. It's doing it. It's just taking a minute.
Are you sure you don't need tech support? I'll give you tech
support
if you need it. I got you, bro. Come on. I got you. You know I got you.
Are you kidding me?
I got you, bro. What's it doing now?
Nothing. I'm just going through all the setup stuff.
You're like, God damn, why isn't it working?
I know. I'm just being dramatic.
No, I hate having to do anything technical during tech talk because like you're like talking to the audience and you're trying to think. And my mind is one of those things like I do not multitask well. Like I have to do a little bit of one task and then do a little bit of another. Like I have a task switcher in one thread. That's how my brain works. It's really fast.
I can dig that.
It's a really fast thread, but well, actually, I shouldn't even say that anymore. Used to be a really fast
job done.
It gets the job done. You know, it does its thing. It's every once in a while it comes up with something interesting. Retro MyBit said, "Hola familia." Hola, right back at you, sir.
Hola familia.
Let's see, where do we got? Hold on here. We got some other. Oh, Blue Varo. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, man. Seriously.
Thank you very much.
On, man. You're the best. You're just the best. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You're the best. Let's see here. Okay, I think I sent the invite out everywhere. So we'll see if like more people come in here. We currently have 138 live viewers, our dedicated audience that shows up every single week. That Metalhead man said, I keep hearing Android will die and phones will have Chrome OS. No, I don't think Android's going to die. I think Chrome OS is just going to merge with Android.
Probably.
And it makes sense. Like, it actually makes sense for them not to maintain 2 separate operating systems. That's the same mistake that Windows made.
The difference is minimal, though. Chrome OS versus Android is, I think, right, is fairly minimal. Or is Chrome OS just like a more robust version of the browser?
Chrome OS is like, I think it's based on Linux, just like Android is. But it's more targeted to laptops. It's like from the ground up designed for like a keyboard and like touchscreen and mouse cursor, like in a keyboard form factor.
Okay.
But I don't understand why they didn't just use Android from the first place. Like it would have ran. Like you can install Android on a desktop computer.
Because it's like just pure web. it's supposed to be like super web based.
That's what I heard too. Is like Chrome is like if you don't have an internet connection, it's basically useless. Like everything, even like the word processor and everything is all like an online application. Which is weird because they're super fucking expensive. Have you seen how expensive Chromebooks are now?
Dude, some of them, yeah, dude.
They start at like $300 and some, which is like, okay, that's cheaper than most laptops. Fair enough, right? But you can buy a lot of laptops, like fully featured Windows laptops for that price range. Brand new. But there's Chromebooks that are like fucking almost $1,000.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a fucking web connected device. Like, what the shit are they thinking? Like Lenovo makes a Chromebook that's like really expensive.
Hey, stop playing with your fanny.
What the hell was that?
What?
I heard it sounded like, hey, stop playing with your fanny pack.
That's right. Okay, so my whole desktop audio is coming through Video Ninja.
Oh, is that what it is?
See, this is what I'm talking about, man. Everything.
You're the one having the
Wait, that's weird.
You're
That
having
shouldn't
technical
be.
problems there. It just played for like a second, then it got cut off.
Because I muted it, but it shouldn't. It should just be. Audio source says just chat mic.
Wait, what do you
not broadcast stream?
What do you use in audio? What's Audio Ninja? I've never even heard of that.
Tell
us
audio source in Video Ninja.
Okay. Oh,
says
in
chat
Video
mic,
Ninja.
which is my Go XLR, right?
Uh-huh.
That's this one, right? You go up and down and up and down.
Yep.
So you shouldn't be hearing my desktop audio.
It was probably picking up through the microphone. Was it playing through the speakers? Oh, it's playing through the headset. Weird.
Should.
Because I heard it pretty clear. Like, I'm sure people in chat did, too. That's very bizarre. Oh, well, if it happens again, I'll let you know.
This is, like I said, I reinstalled. I'm on Windows 11 now, and so I'm still fucking around setting things up properly.
To be fair, going from Windows 10 to Windows 11, people are like, oh, it's not that big of a change. No, it's a massive change.
Well,
it is a massive change.
I haven't reinstalled Windows in like 4 years, so it's been
Jesus, bro.
It's been. Oh, it could have been monitor out. Actually, that is certainly possible because I got open headphones, so it could have been coming out from the speaker.
You know what? It was kind of dead. Like, it didn't have any bass or anything to it, so it's possible it's coming from the headphones.
Oh, no, output device says system, not the monitor.
No, I bet you it looped. I bet you it looped through the head. That we were hearing it through the headphones.
So here, I'm gonna mute my mic and I'm gonna start up what it was before. I'm just gonna see. Okay,
do it. Nothing. We can hear it. We can hear it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we can hear
that's
it
weird.
well.
That's weird. It shouldn't. That's because it shouldn't. It's the audio source is my chat mic.
Yeah, I'm looking right here. It says here. Let me open up your stats here.
Because if I had selected broadcast stream mix, that would make sense. That would be the desktop audio.
Yeah. So Go XLR is your chat mic. Yeah, I'm seeing that it's configured. The only thing I can think of is your Go X. Do you have a button on your Go XLR that merges the channels together? Because I know my Rodecaster has that.
It might be in the settings.
Because like you have different channels on your Rodecaster, and if you have one playing on like one channel and you mix the two channels together, it'll basically have them both come through the same thing.
Yeah, like that might be it.
Try to mute all the channels, like on your Go XLR, mute all the channels that aren't your microphone. Like go across the board and just mute every channel that isn't your microphone. At least I think the Go XLR has that, right? Oh, I can't hear you at all now. Oh, wait, did I fuck up? Hold on, let me see if I fucked my shit up. No, I still have it on there. Okay, why can't I hear you now? Here, speak?
Do you hear it?
Yeah, now I hear you. You
hear me, but do you hear the music?
No music.
Okay, now do you hear it?
I hear the music.
Okay, so the Go XLR is mixing the
channels.
system all the way through the output. Okay.
Yep, I bet you when it reinstalled the drivers, when you did Windows 11, you reinstalled the drivers, you probably had it set up a certain way. Under Windows 10, you got to figure out how to get that same setup
here
again.
We go. Yeah, okay, so routing, inputs, blah, 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 outputs. Oh, it is. It's outputting the system audio through the chat mic.
Yep.
Output. That's so fucking weird, man. Don't do that.
That's the default? Wow.
I guess. Okay, here, one more time.
Nothing.
No, you can't.
Nothing.
Now.
Nope, you're good.
Now do you hear it?
Nothing.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yep, we got you.
By the way, Mike Snow, Genghis Khan, great song, great music video. Go check it out. Not sponsored or anything. It's just a good fucking song.
See, he needed my tech support. I told you guys he needed it.
That would have taken me a minute. That would have been a mild bit of frustration and stress to figure that out.
I only know because I chase that same problem almost every week. Like I'll turn it on. People are like, "Hey, I don't hear the notifications on the screen." Then I turn on the desktop audio channel, and then they hear an echo because
so weird.
There's one feed being mixed together in the PC and one feed being mixed together on the road, and they fuck with each other. So it's like, it's weird. The audio stack in Windows just gets more and more sophisticated.
Complicated.
Yeah, complicated is the better word. That's the better word. Hey, Pele asked something earlier. I'm sorry, Pele. Sorry, it took me so long to get you. Said, "Hey guys, thinking about building a media PC for the living room. What are your tips? Intel, AMD, GPUs, etc." From media PC.
For a media PC,
you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot for a media PC.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be very robust. But if you're doing any sort of encoding, I would recommend an Intel CPU and an Nvidia GPU.
Yep, both of them have hardware encoders built on. So
yeah, and they don't have to. It doesn't have to be very robust. You could go. I mean, like I don't know. I ran a Plex server off of 4770 for a while, and it did just fine.
I can tell you right now, you can stream 4K fully transcoded H.264 using a 1080, like a 1080.
Yeah,
like you don't need it. You could use an old shitty 1080. Probably pick those up on fucking eBay for like $100 now. And that's more than enough to do all your. It won't do the H.265 encoding, like the fancy new encoding, but it will do 264, and 264 is like the gold standard for everything still. Like not everything is adopted.
If you do get an older or older-ish, like a 10 series Intel, the QuickSync I think will do H.265.
Oh really?
I think so. You'd have to tell it to do software encoding.
It'll do it. Yeah, it'll do it, but it just won't have that hardware encoding where it's like it can do it without really hitting the GPU at all.
Right, that's what I mean. If you do it on software encoding, it'll use the Intel QuickSync and
that's right, because the Intel has its own hardware encoder now too.
No,
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
The QuickSync thing.
Does AMD have an equivalent?
Not that I'm aware of.
Here, I'm curious.
No, I don't think so.
Any AMD CPUs have?
If you're gonna do an AMD CPU, you'd want to buy like a cheap Intel GPU, in my opinion.
So Intel CPUs feature QuickSync video, a dedicated hardware encoder for H.264, HEVC, which is the high efficiency video codec, and more. It's built into the iGPU and widely supported by video editing apps in Adobe Premiere and DaVinci Resolve. By the way, this is a tip that I had to get from somebody else. Was you have to enable, if you want to use the encoder on your CPU, the hardware encoder on your CPU, you have to enable the iGPU in the BIOS. Even though you have an Nvidia graphics card, then you'll see two graphics cards show up under Device Manager. Yep. You don't have to use the Intel graphics card. All your monitors can be connected to the Nvidia graphics card, but as long as that Intel graphics card is present, whenever you go into software and you want to select the hardware encoder, you'll be able to select either the Nvidia hardware accelerated encoder or the Intel QuickSync encoder. But you won't get that option if you disable it in the BIOS. So in a lot of BIOSes will disable the onboard graphics if it detects a graphics card installed. So usually you have to go into the BIOS and explicitly say, no, get off auto, the default setting, put it into enable. You want the iGPU. And then as soon as you got the iGPU enabled, and you'll notice that when you do hardware encoding using the CPU as the encoder, and you open up Task Manager, you'll see minimal hit on the CPU. Like you'll still see a little bit, but you'll see minimal hit on the CPU. Whereas if you use the software encoder, I mean, the CPU will just go to 100% on all cores until it's done. It'll max everything out. So like this, and if you're doing Plex and stuff like that, you really don't want your system just sitting there pounding away at 100% on the CPU trying to transcode everything. Because in Plex, you can have there's a setting where you can have it transcode your entire library into one format so that it's like easier for it to send it off to other devices instead of doing it in real time. You have both options. But I know a lot of people opt to just have it transcode, because when you transcode it, you can also shrink it too, right? You can compress it down to H.264, compress it down even more with H.265, and shrink your media library, get better quality, and the transcoding is a lot faster and efficient when you're sending it off to other devices. But I do know that a friend of mine who has a Plex server that I use, he had software encoding enabled, and it was trying to transcode his library that he had, and it was just hitting the CPU at 100% for days. And anybody that tried to stream any content off the server, even the stuff that was already transcoded, it was just chugging and dropping frames and buffering, like until it completed the process. Then anytime you add another video, it just maxes out the CPU until it's done transcoding it. Whereas if you're using either the GPU's video encoder or the CPU's QuickSync encoder, That won't happen. Like video will be fully encoding 24/7 in the background without hurting any of the transmissions in and out. Anthony said, every tech talk I learned something new. I didn't know about the iGPU and the BIOS. Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't know about that till about a year or two ago. And the reason I found out about it was because of OBS. I was in OBS and I had it using the Nvidia encoder. And the Nvidia encoder, even though it's a hardware encoder built into the card, it still uses the memory. It still uses the GPU's memory to do the transcoding. And so I was doing AI models that when I was transcoding video, it didn't have enough memory to load the model. So then I learned that go in the BIOS, enable the iGPU, then use the iGPU for the encoding for like things like Super that I use. The Super is an open source tool you can use for transcoding video. It's really awesome. I could run Super and I could run LM Studio at the same time with a large model loaded, and it wouldn't be killing my graphics memory. It wouldn't be killing my CPU. I could still fully use the system, play games, even stream in OBS. And right now I have OBS using NVIDIA for the encoder, but I could just as easily switch it over and have it use the chip because I have a 13900K in here right now, but I'm going to be going down to a 12700K because this chip is damaged. I'm still limping it along until Hobbs can come over and help me downgrade it. But luckily it's been working fine. It fails all the tests. It fails anytime you put it in any kind of a test, one of the cores falls over and starts shitting the bed. So if I try to do anything that uses all the cores at the same time and runs it at 100%, within a minute it fails. So, but luckily 99% of the time, the shit that I'm doing doesn't use all the cores at once. So as long as I'm not maxing out the CPU, like running benchmarks and stuff like that, it's fine. But I'm still going to downgrade and put in the other CPU so I could do like long encoding sessions and long training sessions without worrying about coming up here and having a blue screen or a reboot, which is what I was doing. Pele said I have a 13900K and a 14900K laying around. So which motherboard? Oh, dude, you have a 1300K and a 1400K just laying around, bro. I mean,
well, first off, you send me the 14900K.
Exactly right.
And I'll send you a motherboard that works with the 13900K.
You
actually,
beat me to
and
it.
I said that as a joke, but I think I do have one. Hang on.
Oh, Pele, we got some wheeling and dealing going on here. Pele, the first thing you should do is test that 1300K and make sure it's not blown. So many people don't know they're blown up.
Hold on.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that they're blown up because the only way you know is if you run a benchmark at 100%, and the benchmark has to be able to report when a core falls over.
Yeah. Never mind.
Oh, you don't have one?
Never mind. These are this is a Threadripper board. you don't want that.
That ain't gonna work. Now you gotta push extra hard. It'll go into the slot if you push hard.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I will tell you this though, Pele.
The chips for this are like $1,000.
Don't blow a shitload on a motherboard for a media center PC.
Yeah, seriously.
Remember, a media center PC. All you need is the one CPUs. Slot. The onboard Ethernet's going to be more than fast enough for anything that you need. All you need is the one 4x. It doesn't have to be 4x. Honestly, it could be a fucking 1x, and it would still be fine for the video encoding.
Yeah.
You just need one slot for the GPU. That's it. Did you get a mini ATX or whatever the small
I would go MATX, yeah. Just so you can get a good cooler. If you're going to use those Ks, one of those, you want a good cooler on there.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's beefcake for a fucking media PC, man. That's a full on. That's the start of a really nice gaming, like high-end gaming machine.
Yeah, the trick with media center PCs is if you want to build it into a small package, you really have to find a way to cool it without it being really loud. And I will tell you what, GPUs, they get loud when you run them at 100%, but you're never gonna hit 100% transcoding video.
Yeah,
because when you're transcoding video, it's using a completely separate encoder chip that's on the card that doesn't get very hot at all.
Yeah, my Plex server is running a 10600K and a RX 6600, I think is what I have in there.
I bet you if you open Task Manager, it shows that the graphics card utilization is like nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
You're not even touching it.
Yeah.
So, and plus, again, for a media center PC, the GPU is overkill. Honestly, like if you have QuickSync on the iGPU, the iGPU is going to be more than enough as long as it can reach. As long as the iGPU is capable of hitting like whatever the resolution or refresh rate of your screen is, that's all that really matters.
You're not fucking running Netflix, man. It's even if you're trying to do remote access to it and it's transcoding to your phone to 720p or some like real-time transcoding to whatever, it's what it can handle probably 4 streams doing that all at once.
I will tell you this though, if you're going to be, so if you're using it as a media center, and that, well, actually, you're not creating a Plex server, you're creating a media center, so you're gonna have this connected to your TV in your room. So this will be the actual video output of this PC will be on your screen. If that's the case, I'd say get the GPU for one thing, and that is lossless scaling. Lossless scaling is badass. Yeah, or no, even videos. If you're watching movies, if this is your media center PC and you want to watch movies on it, and you have a screen that can do 4K 120 hertz, like my bedroom, the screen in my bedroom can do 4K 120 hertz. Right. I can open up lossless scaling and have it take any media from Plex and boost it up to 120 frames per second.
Stop it.
I can also have it in real time using the GPU. It can even upscale 1080p to 4K, and it does such a better job than the TV does, and no lag. Like the TV adds a shitload of lag. Lossless scaling adds like not a lot of lag. Like it's not even really noticeable to most people. So way worth it. Hey, what's up, Graham? How's it going, man? So my PC's fucked. It's not even eligible for Windows 11.
If you build your install media with Rufus, you can remove that.
I thought they patched that. I thought Windows.
No, I just did that.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
I did. I mean, I did also turn on my TPM stuff, so like whatever. But it removed the BitLocker thing. It removed the it bypassed the Microsoft account thing, which though I did log in so that I could authenticate my legitimate Windows. So I am technically still logged into my Microsoft account, but it didn't require it at install. Yeah, Rufus had as options. You can turn a bunch of that stuff off.
I also think that it's really screwed up that Microsoft is forcing those requirements, because those requirements are only used for one feature in Windows. That's it. And the one feature they use for is BitLocker. Yep. And the funny thing is, BitLocker isn't even enabled by default. When you install Windows 11, there is no BitLocker. So Microsoft is operating under some assumption that in the future they want to enable BitLocker on everything, and they're going to force BitLocker on everything, which is a damn shame, because that's just overhead, right? If you don't need to secure your fucking data and have it be encrypted as it's reading and writing off of the hard drive, most people would like to save those cycles for something more meaningful, right? If they're not worried about people breaking and stealing the hard drive out of their computer.
It's the security theater bullshit. Oh, we're trying to protect you. It's just trying to like make themselves look more like Apple.
Exactly.
Oh, we're privacy conscious and blah 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 blah. It's like no.
So Graham, I looked it up, and they did actually patch it out at one point, but it is back and it does work now. So if you have TPM and secure boot bypass, you can do it with the Rufus, and it works.
Yeah. If they patch it in, somebody can patch it out. It's a constant leapfrogging of all of this bullshit.
Yeah, Microsoft keeps threatening, though, that if you do use these methods to install Windows 11, they can detect them, and that's obvious. Obviously, they can detect if your TPM is a certain thing. So you may not get certain updates in the future. But as far as I know, there has not been a single update that's been denied to somebody who's used these methods to install. So, in Microsoft, if they did this with as many people that have used this bypass, if they ever release an update that just bricks a billion machines, the public uprising will be massive. So I don't think they're going to do it.
Didn't they push an update that killed a bunch of SSDs?
I think that turned out not being Microsoft's fault. But yeah, there was a weird situation where a bunch of SSDs were starting to fall off, and it was right around the time Microsoft released an update. I think it was one of those things where it was like correlation wasn't causation, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure how that whole thing ended. So if anybody in chat actually knows if like Microsoft took responsibility for that or whatever, released an update to fix it silently or even publicly, I'd be curious about that. Irene said, I've never enabled BitLocker on my PC ever. Yeah. I've only used BitLocker when I worked at Microsoft because it was forced by group policy. The corporate domain required BitLocker. And I'll tell you right now, I lost my entire dev box three times because of BitLocker, because I'd boot it up. And it'd be like, hey, we need the BitLocker key for like no fucking reason whatsoever. And the BitLocker key, I don't even get the BitLocker key because the group policy sends it to the admin for the network. So then I got to call on the phone some admin guy and say, hey, can you read me the key? Because I don't have no fucking email like on my box. Like he's like reading out 100 fucking letter number combo.
Dude, it's insane.
It's stupid. It's funny. So stupid.
I had to do that. My stepdad was trying to wipe my mom. She's my late mom's laptop that she had gotten through her work, and it was looking for the BitLocker key, but he's like, I need to log into her Microsoft account. I can't log into the Microsoft account because the freaking thing is locked up, And so I was like, well, I'm sure you can at least get her email. And so I logged into her Microsoft account from my machine and gave him the BitLocker code. I was like, geez, man, what a big pain in the butt.
Sorry about that. My wife's trying to get my medicine.
Will not install with the unsupported hardware. Some apps, others have already been flagged.
Wait, what was that? What happened?
Bradley Smith says not brick, but for example, Google Chrome will not install with the unsupported hardware, and some apps others have already been flagged.
Seriously? Are there any apps that don't let you install if you disable? If you have the old TPM, here's the bypass. That's weird. Why
I wonder now. So I have Windows 11 installed. I wonder if I turn off my FTPM if it'll flip out.
Oh, dude, they added a shitload of stuff. Okay, so let me go down the list here. So Windows subsystem for Android, so WSA. It requires TPM 2.0, but to be fair, it's never fucking worked right anyways, and I think they pretty much abandoned
and probably
that
WSL
feature.
as well.
Yeah,
but that's fine. I mean, that makes sense. Those are virtual environments and stuff. You're going to want some level of security for that kind of a thing. You don't want your virtual environments getting out and fussing with things they're not supposed to.
Yeah, there's also shit, what's the name of it? I'm looking for the icon on my desktop. It's somewhere around here. There's a Android emulator that's fantastic. It even fools apps into thinking it's a real fucking Google Pixel or whatever. Whereas Android Studio can't even do that. And what is it? It starts with an M. Mo something. I can't find it. I have an icon somewhere for it. But it's badass. It's fully hardware accelerated. It uses your GPU, everything. It's badass. And somebody turned me onto it, and I ran it. I was like, oh my God, this kicks every Android emulator's ass I've ever used. Even allows you to do like cut and paste between Android apps and Windows apps.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Moo. What the fuck is it called? Because I want you guys to know about this. Okay, so here's the other apps that are fucked over. Windows Hello. So biometric security, you can't use if you don't have the TPM, so no like face scanning to get into your computer. BitLocker drive encryption, that's the one we knew. Copilot AI and recall. Personally, I don't want either of those, so I'd right? almost use the hack just to prevent them from putting that on my system. And also enterprise security and compliance apps like Windows Defender for endpoint, Credential Guard, and others may refuse to install or operate in the mode without that TPM. So there are some things that do require that TPM to play, but I wouldn't say any of these are like deal breakers. Like honestly, Windows subsystem for Android, wouldn't use it anyways. Windows Hello, I don't use it. Don't care for it. The only thing I use it on is like a laptop. BitLocker drive encryption, nope, not going to use it. Copilot AI and recall, nope, don't care because I can already use Copilot AI through the browser and I don't have to give it full access to my whole fucking system. Dude, recall is so stupid. I cannot believe Microsoft thought that was a good idea. Oh, Moo, yeah, MU, that's what it is. MU, there it is, Moo Player. So, dude, you got to check this out. Since you're an Android person, you're gonna love this, dude. Honestly, you can emulate any Android device, even like I think you can even emulate like Chromebooks and shit with it. It's wild, but it's for playing games. It's fully hardware accelerated, but it doesn't just play games. It also works with like Grok. It works with X. It works with the Facebook app. Like any app from Google Store, you can log into the Google Store and install on this, and it thinks it's a real phone. Like it legitimately thinks it's real.
Huh.
Which the other emulators don't do that. The other emulators fess up and they're like, yes, I'm an emulator. So apps will treat it differently. This doesn't. This is like straight up. Here, I'll put a link in chat so you guys can play with this. And by the way, I know it's like freaky, like you go to install it or whatever, and it'll like pop up a little warning. And if you upload it to VirusTotal, one of the scanners will throw a false positive. But no, this is a heavily used application worldwide, used by a gajillion Android developers. It's very well vetted. It's created by a well-known company that a lot of people trust. So, but man, the hardware acceleration on it's phenomenal. Like if you want to play like first-person shooters and shit using your mouse and keyboard and just like own everybody at like PUBG on Android, this is the way to do it. This is the emulator to use.
That's fun.
But the reason I had to use it was because I was trying to run Grok. I was trying to run Grok because Grok gives certain functionality to the app, the mobile app, before it gives it to the website.
Yeah.
And I think they do this just because they want to get more people on mobile devices installing their app, right? So they can, collect more of your data where they're locked down in a browser. So they deploy these apps on Android and iOS. They give you like that talking feature where you could do a live conversation with the AI. That was only available for the longest time on the phone. And so in order to use that feature, I tried to install Android Studio and use the Android emulator. And sure enough, if I went into the Google Store, I could log in. And I could install anything. I could install all the games and everything. But if I went to install X, it would say, sorry, your device does not support this, and it wouldn't let me install it. I tried that. I tried another emulator, and it wouldn't work. And I'm like, what the hell? And then somebody goes, hey, have you tried Moo? Moo like works. And I was like, okay, I'll try this Moo Player. I installed Moomoo Player. It works right off the bat. I log into Google Studio. It because the thing is the Grok app specifically checks to make sure you're not under an emulator because they don't want people using emulators through Android to access, features from a PC. And this allows you to bypass all that. So, and the same thing with the games. The games detect it as a real phone. It does not identify itself to anybody as Moomoo Player. So, and you can even pick the phone. You can even go through the list and say, oh, I want this to be a Samsung Galaxy S7 with this much memory and this much thing. So you can you can even put in your own IEMI. So if you have an IEMI off your phone, you can actually put that into the emulator and fool the network into thinking that it's your phone with your SIM in it.
That's pretty cool.
I wonder what would happen if you did that though, because if you joined the internet with the same IEMI and tried to access something, I wonder if there's any IEMI checks to be like, hey, wait a second, your phone's on cellular with the IEMI and they're accessing something over the web with a different device. I wonder
if it did have any sort of check, it would just be like if it's a stolen phone or if it's been reported stolen or not,
Interesting.
Or it would probably just check to see if it's just legit.
Oh wait, hold on here. Oh yeah, sorry, I got distracted. My wife's waiting up. She got up to wait for the pharmacy to call my medication. So I'm all out of pain medication. So if they don't fill my prescription today, I gotta fucking suffer today and tomorrow.
No.
Yeah, this is how the system works, man. And not only that, but
America.
Well, yeah, and then I'm worried about January 1st because insurance premiums could go up as much as 80% for the lower plans.
All right.
So it's gonna fuck a lot of people. I can't afford 80% more for my insurance, so I may be uninsurable come January 1st. So. Irene says, likes my shirt. Oh, hey, thank you. Yeah, the Top Dad shirt. I love this shirt. This is a good shirt. Bradley said there's a browser plugin to turn the website into what is on the phone. Careful about doing the IEMI on the emulated phone because technically it's against the law. Oh, interesting.
Why? I guess that makes sense. Like you're spoofing. I guess it's like fraud kind of thing.
I mean, you can spoof MAC addresses on Nix. Why can't you spoof an IEMI?
I mean, I imagine that's probably frowned upon too.
Here, is it illegal to spoof an IEMI that you own yourself on an emulated device? I'm curious. Okay, so, whoa, okay, crosses into a legal gray area or outright illegal depending on the territory and your jurisdiction. All right, so IEMI tampering is generally prohibited under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, the CFAA telecom regulations. Yeah, so IEMI is considered a unique identifier tied to cellular networks, and altering it, even for personal use, can be interpreted to intend to defraud or circumvent carrier restrictions, which you'd be doing, right? So,
yeah, that's exactly what you were doing.
Yep, it says the FCC also prohibits unauthorized modifications of device identifiers. So, yeah, it says on purely virtual devices like Android emulators, spoofing IEMI is more common for testing apps or simulating network behavior. However, if the emulator connects to any real networks or services over the internet, spoofing could still violate the terms of service and law. So you can technically do it as long as you're not connected to anything. But if you're not connected to anything, what's the point? Like, unless you're playing some local game, which wouldn't even be dependent on IEMI. Yeah, so yeah, good call there, Bradley. I'm glad that you told me about that because I was getting ready to do me some serious spoofing action. Pele, woo, yeah, woo, woo, Pele. Oh, thank you for the 500 sexes, bro. He said, you guys brighten my day. Hope you keep going forever. Jerry, I hope you figure out pain-free future. Dude, I hope so, man. Living this way fucking sucks. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to bring you guys down, but it's fucking hell, man. I cannot sleep soundly. Like, I literally just have nonstop nightmares because my brain, and I talked to my doctor about it, and he's like, yeah, no, it's perfectly normal. People that have massive chronic pain, they have nightmares, and even when they mask it with pain medication, the brain still knows the pain's there. It just, you're indifferent to it, but your mind isn't. So when you're sleeping, you still have nightmares. And so a lot of nightmares that you have are your body manifesting pains. Like if you go to sleep and you have really bad gas pains, it can manifest as you getting stabbed in the gut or somebody punching you in the gut. It's weird. Your senses kind of dictate your dreams. Kind of like when you go to sleep and drift off with music playing in the background. Sometimes that music appears in your dreams. Sometimes you go to sleep listening to a YouTube video or something like that. And whatever was going on in that YouTube video manifests itself in your dream in some way. And it's the same thing for pain. It's like when you're sleeping, your body is aware of the pain that you're experiencing. And so it thinks that you're in danger. So it creates a nightmare to wake you up. And then you wake up, because it's like, oh shit, your heart rate spiked because of your pain or whatever. Oh, we better wake you up to make sure nothing's wrong. But then you wake up 5,000 times a night and you never actually get sound sleep. And that's the part that really fucking sucks. And even if you drug yourself, all it does is just make the nightmares more severe. You might sleep more continuously for a little while, but it makes the nightmares more secure and you wake up even in more pain. So it's like, goddamn, you can't win. Graham said, Jerry, do you dream? Do you mean, do I keep a dream journal? I do not. I should, though, because dreams fade so fast. That's actually a really cool trick. If you keep your phone next to your thing and you just wake up and immediately dictate your dream, that's really cool because one, if you dictate your dream out loud, even if you don't even write it down, you just speak it out loud to somebody, you tend to remember it longer. But dreams fade really fast. But here's another problem that I have is some of the medications I take can cause those dreams to stick with you like real memories for 12 to 24 hours. So I've had days where I've woken up from a dream where I've been like murdered horrendously and I'm still shaking and freaking out about it. And no matter how much I know it's fake, it still fucking registers fear. As weird as that is. Like you're still fucking, it still messes with you and affects how you go through your day. And I hate that. My favorite dreams are the ones where I wake up and I know I dreamed, but I have no fucking clue what of. That's the best dream. Like I tell my wife every once in a while I get lucky and I wake up and I'm like, I know I dreamed. Like I have that inkling. I know I dreamed. I know something happened, but I couldn't tell you the faintest clue about what it was. Like it faded instantly. That's the dreams I like. Those are the ones I welcome. Bradley said, I know about it because I got called out for it. Oh no, it was just a slap on the wrist and said, don't do it again. Oh no, what were you doing, dude? Can you say? Oh, Jesus. Irene said, my husband got hit by a car when he was about 30. He said when he was in the hospital, he realized that the painkillers weren't really taking away the pain, just making him not care about it. That's all painkillers do. That's the thing is, I don't think a lot of people, if you've never taken a painkiller before, like an opioid, right? It doesn't stop the pain. It just makes you indifferent to it. So your comfort is, the pain's there. You still feel the pressure from it. You still know it's there. It's just your brain doesn't register it as like super bad. It's weird. It's almost like a brain blocker. Gabapentin is similar. Like gabapentin will numb the nerve pain and make it tolerable, but you still know the pain's there and you still feel the pain. It just doesn't register like as you're hyper focused on it. It dulls it down, but it's still there. It's still absolutely there. So a lot of people think that painkillers are like this magical thing. It's like, unless you're getting like general anesthesia or something that cuts your brain off from all your fucking nerves, you're still aware of the pain. Like if you can send a signal to that muscle and move it, and you can send a signal through that nerve that's pinched, you're still getting enough signal in both directions for it to register. It's just not as much. And a lot of painkillers make you feel loopy too. And the reason they make you feel loopy is because they're actually reducing the signal, like the signal strength between the muscles. It can make you feel heavier. It can make you feel like you can't move as much, make you feel lethargic. And I hate that feeling too. Third Shifter said I get sleep paralysis sometimes. Same here. I get it about twice a month. Trying to master it to turn it into lucid dreaming. Oh shit, dude. Once you're awake and you're aware that you're paralyzed, that's fucking nightmare fuel. I don't think I could lucid dream after that.
Yeah, that's gotta be, dude.
Yeah.
That's...
Hystario said gabapentin made your sleep apnea worse. Oh yeah, I wouldn't use it if I wasn't on a CPAP. I wouldn't take gabapentin because gabapentin numbs the nerve signals and slows them down. So if you have obstructive apnea where your brain is actually stopping you from breathing, gabapentin will make that worse, 100%. So yeah, if you're on gabapentin, you should definitely get checked first for sleep apnea and get on a CPAP. But yeah, I am continuously fatigued. That's the problem. Is like I used to have so much energy every single day. Now I wake up tired and I go to bed tired. I am just in a perpetual state of exhaustion. And I can take stimulants, I can drink coffee, I can take my Adderall, and it helps, but I still feel tired. There is no point at which I feel awake and alert. And I have memories of like back when I was more energetic and everything where I'd wake up after a good night's sleep and I'd feel energized. Like I'd get up, I'd go take a shower. By the time I got in the shower, I was like 100% awake and alert. There's no way I could get back to sleep even if I wanted to. And I was hyper alert of my surroundings and everything like that. Now I feel like I get out of bed, I go take a shower, I eat my food, I make a coffee, and I still feel like I could just, if I laid down or got comfortable in any way, I just fall asleep instantly. Like the only thing keeping me awake is the pain. If the pain was gone, I'd just be like, out. Graham said that drug is terrible for you. I know, but the alternative is worse. The doctor tried to get me off of it and it did not go well. After 1 week, I was already like super, super fucked. The pain So I have a burning sensation, a permanent burning sensation that goes from the small of my back on the left at about L4, and it jets down through my hip, down through my ass cheek, down through my hip, and all the way down my leg to my heel. And it feels like a burning piece of wire is in my leg, and it fucking sucks. And the gabapentin makes that go away. The gabapentin solves that one. When I stopped the gabapentin, within 3 days of stopping the gabapentin, which kind of surprised me, because gabapentin is one of those cumulative drugs where it should take time to get out of your system. But no, after 3 days of titrating down, all I did was titrate down 1 pill a day. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the week, my wife was having to run an impact massager on my hip like 3 times a day because I couldn't stand it. I was like on the bed, on my side, curled up in a ball, in intense pain, begging her to come run that impact massager on me. And it fucking sucks. Like, I'm so glad that she's there for me and she can help me, but it sucks when she's like, you know, she's my son's teacher and they're doing school in the middle of the day and the pain gets so bad that I can't do anything about it. I have nothing for the breakthrough pain. So, you know, all I've got is her to come in and do the massager. And I can do it on myself to a degree, but I can't reach the spot. So then what I do is I end up jacking up my shoulder by trying to do it. So Graham said, have I tried Vistaril? I don't even know what that is. I asked the doctor if there's any other alternative because it has to be a generic. If it's a name brand, I can't get it. My insurance doesn't cover any name brand medications at all. So let's see, what is a Vistaril? Is a antihistamine used primarily to treat anxiety and tension. It works by reducing activity in central nervous system and can also alleviate symptoms of itching, hives caused by allergies. I will tell that I do take Benadryl. Not all the time, but I do take Benadryl because it does actually help. It does tend to get me to sleep a little bit easier. I pay for it the next day though. It makes me feel even more groggy the next day. Sometimes used as a sedative before and after surgery. Common side effects may include drowsiness, dry mouth, and dizziness. God, every drug I take gives me those 3. Yeah, right. Always consult a healthcare provider for personal advice and information. Let's see here, guys. I need to introduce you to meditation. One of these times. Well, I've tried meditation before. It doesn't work for me. My mind is too hyperactive. Like even when I go to sleep, I can't. I've tried silencing my mind before. But I mean, like I said, Graham, one of these times we'll get together and, you know, I'll fuck around with it. But I mean, I
would say meditation is less about silencing your mind and more about focusing on one thing.
That's the thing.
It's about practicing focusing on one thing.
I can't focus on one thing. I've tried.
If you practice, it's about practice and not being judging yourself when you're not able to. It's okay. You accept that these things are going to happen sometimes and you return your focus back to, and like, look, don't get me wrong. It's tough. I'm not saying like, oh, it's just a simple thing, but just the act of even trying to focus can help. I don't know how it might relate to pain and stuff, but
no, I do that when I'm in the hot tub. When I get in the hot tub by myself, I do that where I'll focus on a single point. Yeah. Like a tree or something. But then immediately my mind just races off in other directions. I can't keep it focused.
Honestly, I find that to be relaxing as well. So I've heard the term non-sleep deep rest, where like you're not really trying to fall asleep, but you just kind of let your mind go and do whatever. That's okay too.
Oh, Windu had the same thing happen to his lady. She had the same thing happen with gabapentin, where she tried to titrate and the nerve pain came back. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That's the thing. Is like I'm gonna try to get down to a lower dose. Like, don't get me wrong. I still don't want to be on, because I'm on a high dose. I mean, I have to take, 600 milligrams 3 times a day. So yeah, it's 300. So 600, 600, and 600. And when I was titrating down, I got down to just 600 for the whole day, and my nerve was already just like on fire. Like I could not get comfortable no matter what I did. I mean, honestly, if I lived in the hot tub, maybe that would work. like if I could, I'd turn into a prune and all my flesh would fall off. But if I was in the hot tub and I was weightless, that would probably be beneficial. But yeah, it sucks. But yeah, no, I mean, as far as like, I'm willing to try anything. Like, honestly, hey, I'll try meditation. Shit, it's something to do, right? It's something to take my mind in a different direction. Even if I can't achieve meditation, just the act of even just doing an activity is a distraction in some way. And distractions are good. Like, I can tell you right now, my pain is far less noticeable when I'm on here talking to Aux and talking to you guys. Like, it's more tolerable. It still bites me all the time. Like it comes at me and fucking nips me and it hurts really bad. But then I kind of keep it in the back of my mind, right? I'm like, I know it's there. It hurts like hell. It makes me sweat. It makes me feel nauseous. but I'm able to continue, and that's what that's why I like the distraction. The distraction keeps my mind on something else. You can be anywhere. A session takes 37 minutes. Well, again, it's different for everybody, though, Graham. That's the first thing that people need to understand is not everybody is capable of the same things. Everybody's mind is different. We know very little about the human brain. And a lot of things that have worked for other people, like DDP yoga, for instance, do not work for me. Work great for a lot of other people. A lot of medications work great for people that I can't even take because they kill me. So it's, yeah, a lot of differences going on. But you got to find what works for you. And so far, the best I've done is buprenorphine. It makes things tolerable. It doesn't really... That's the problem, is it never gives you a full escape from the pain. Oxycodone can give you a full escape from the pain if you don't have any buprenorphine in your system for like 6 or 8 days and you take a healthy dose of it. Then it's only works for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it's gone. Like it doesn't work very long. It's like a roller coaster. And then it's like total pain relief for a little bit and then just fucking your worst pain you've ever had, right? Buprenorphine is more of like it's level. It's just level all the time. You just always feel exactly the same amount of relief, but it's only like maybe 30%.
Oh yeah, I want to try that floaty tank, the sensory deprivation eggs.
Oh yeah, dude. Did you ever see the videos I did on that? You should go watch it. I created a couple videos on deprivation tanks, even doing VR in a deprivation tank.
Oh,
yeah, we literally took a VR headset into a deprivation tank where you're floating in space, and then you completely all the sound goes away. It's dead silent, and then you just hear the music, and then the water line disappears because your body is the same temperature as the water, so the water disappears, and then you feel like you're floating through space. It was a really cool experience. I have to say, I'm sad that I never got to do that again. That was really, really freaking cool. I used to have a lifetime float, like where I could go for life to this float place and get unlimited free floats. But then the company went under during COVID, and they had to sell to another company, and that other company doesn't honor my lifetime membership anymore.
Not. Fuckers.
Yeah, so I lost that. That was sad. But I did get to use it a lot. I mean, I did, I don't know, probably 25-30 floats in the time that I had that, which, I mean, they're pretty expensive. I want to say it's like $60 to $90 for a couple floats. You have a float tank place near your house? How expensive are they, Graham?
Nice.
Because honestly, if it's only like 20 or 30 a session, I'd be willing to do that once a month.
Not. It's expensive.
It's probably going to be more than that, yeah. Mace Window said she's on 3 pills, 600 milligrams, 3 times a day. That's what I'm on too. That's max dose. They don't go any higher than that. I got her down to 2, but I can't touch her hands, and she just likes standing when not on a full dose. I have her distracted, encouraging her to draw more. Yeah, distractions are good. Like games. Like this last week, I played Cyberpunk. So I played through Cyberpunk. I put it off for so long, but I was laid up in bed and I was hurting like hell and I was feeling nauseous. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna play me some Cyberpunk. And I have to say, I'm super impressed. I am super impressed. Like the first time I played it was when it first came out, and it was a piece of shit. And it sucked. The driving mechanics sucked. Everybody had T poses. Things were loading in and out. I had a terrible experience. You didn't. But I had a terrible experience. It wasn't even playable.
Little bit of bad stuff. It wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be.
For me, it wasn't even playable. It was like I played it for 30 minutes. The game crashed 3 times, and I just stopped playing it. I just stopped playing it. So then I waited until they did all. The community beat them half to death, and they almost went out of business. But they're like, you know what? We're gonna fix our shit.
That's unfair. That's unfair. What? They weren't. It was because of outside investments and bullshit publisher trying to push them to release a game that wasn't finished.
I never said why it was a piece of shit when it shipped. I'm just saying that they had to spend a lot of resources to complete the game that we're not playing.
It anyway, like I think, man, I do think this. I mean, this is a rant I've had before, where the fucking community, the gaming community in general, is just kind of bullshit.
To be fair, CD Projekt Red said this themselves. This isn't me saying it. This is them saying that they spent the extra resources and the extra time to fix it because they were so embarrassed with like how the launch went and how everything went, and they wanted to see this done right. They didn't want this to be their legacy.
It's one thing to shit on who is it that makes fucking Borderlands, right? Gearbox, I think. Are they the developer? Gearbox is the developer, and Take-Two is the publisher.
Yep,
it's one thing to shit on those guys for what's going on with Borderlands 4. Like, I think they deserve it, right? Because especially with the way Randy Pitchford's been on fucking Twitter doing his bullshit, bitchy stuff. But CD Projekt Red had built an enormous amount of goodwill with the community with Witcher 3. They put out so much free content for that game, and you go from Witcher 1 to 2 to 3, you can see how they got better and better and better at what they were doing. Then it comes to Cyberpunk, where they had never made a first-person RPG before. They either had to completely do their own engine, or they tweaked the Witcher 3 engine to make a first-person shooter, which is super weird. You're going to take a third-person. I can't remember exactly how they did it, but I think they just tweaked their Witcher engine to make this game. Which, like, you're going to take a third-person RPG engine and then try and make a first-person shooter game. They've never done a first-person shooter game before, and I feel like the gaming community kind of turned on them in a way. They had to bring in outside investment to bring in more developers to make a very ambitious project. This is like Cyberpunk's like Skyrim level massive RPG kind of thing. They did an incredible job, even though it released in a janky way. Like, this is No Man's Sky kind of shit. Like, I don't know, and I feel like the community did
the
see
gap
Project
between
Red
what
wrong.
they shipped. The gap between I think that's somewhat fair, but I will say that the console releases never should have been released.
Agreed.
They were absolute fucking garbage, and
Agreed.
I will even admit that I bought it for PC and it was unfucking playable for me. So clearly, it only works with very specific hardware. Well, like if you deviated from that hardware spec,
they
you were
fixed
fucked.
it real fast. They did a remarkable job. It was less than a year later, and it was
less than a year.
Good.
A year's a long time when you spend fucking $60 for a game and you can't play it.
less, right?
Here's
they
what I'll
knocked
say,
it
though.
out of the park.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll say.
And
though.
even then, continued to do more updates, more and more updates. The 2.0 update, which was, I know, a couple, like almost 2 years later, completely overhauled the whole thing. Like, it's a whole different experience.
Well, here, let me say this. So
I think
let's not
that they
focus
went
on how they got
underground or
there.
anything.
Let's not focus on how they got there. Let's just say that the end product is amazing.
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red created a masterpiece with Cyberpunk. It absolutely, because I put off playing it because I had such a bad experience in the beginning. I didn't want to play it again. Like, it fucking pissed me off so bad that it was so unstable, and it was like everywhere I was going, just T-poses, characters in the fucking sky and stuff. It was so bad. It was so unplayable for me. And then it crashed constantly. So I was like, I'm not gonna play this. I just put it in the back of my head. And once a game does that to me, like No Man's Sky was the same way. I played that and I was like, this is garbage. Didn't go back to it for years, even after they fixed it.
I didn't buy too much into the hype of No Man's Sky, so I enjoyed what I got out of it. So that's, I feel like that's a little different.
Good to see you. So yeah, we're talking. She wants to know what game we're talking
Again,
about. Cyberpunk.
No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is another perfect example of why you don't put devs in front of the press, like Peter Molyneux, where you talk big hype about all your big ideas. You don't have engineer ideas publicized. You have a PR person for that, or you have a PR person to prepare your statements so that you don't overpromise stuff. Yeah, you want to make this big crazy game that's so super huge and all this stuff, and you're going to be able to never find anybody and blah 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 and all this stuff. But it wasn't multiplayer like they said it was going to be.
No.
Like all this other stuff. Like we have to learn these lessons. These devs have to learn these lessons, man. Stop putting developers in, or anybody related to engineering or developing in front of the camera. You have press people for that. Or you only read a prepared statement, period. Because you will make over promises and people will believe that you're capable of doing all this craziness, and then it doesn't come out. And yeah,
100%. But I'll tell you this: Cyberpunk now, every criticism that I had in the beginning is gone. Like it really paid off. Like I think the driving mechanics are so much better. They're not perfect, but they're way better. I'd say this is the closest anybody else has come to like GTA 5 driving. And in the beginning, the driving was garbage. Like when the game first came out, it felt like the cars went like 10 miles an hour. They felt like they pivoted around the center of the vehicle. They were very rubber bandy. I feel like the cars, like all the different cars and models and stuff, all perform radically differently now. And once you get used to like the driving and the way the driving works, you can like do burnouts and 360s and all kinds of trick shit in the cars to like navigate. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I love driving in Cyberpunk, and that was the thing I hated the most about it when I first played it. I was like, oh my god, this driving's terrible. I'm not going to drive anywhere. This is garbage. I'm gonna fast travel everywhere. But I will say that during the entire 30 hours that I played through while I was laid up, I will say I only encountered like maybe 3 bugs where like a person was like hovering in the sky.
Nice.
But I was still able to like kill them and interact with them. They were just like up in the sky. And the worst bug I probably encountered the entire time that I was playing was one time I got stuck in a place and I couldn't get out and I had to do a reload. So I managed to like jump off. I climbed a building I wasn't supposed to climb, and I was like jumping off trying to get to an area to see if there's like some cool hidden shit there. And then I ended up getting stuck in an area that I couldn't get out of because I couldn't jump high enough to grab a ridge. It was like a part of the game they obviously didn't test. And but other than that, no, the playthrough was great. Like, and I was doing all kinds of crazy shit too. I wasn't just like following the script. I was trying to be a shithead and kill people I'm not supposed to kill and climb up shit I'm not supposed to climb. And honestly, they really got it on lockdown. And just so you guys know, I didn't play on PC this time. This is on PS5. So PlayStation 5. I love the way they integrated it with the controllers and the active triggers, the way the active triggers worked when you're like shooting your guns and driving the cars and stuff like that. I love the way that you could like feel traction when you were driving, like through the triggers and all the police. The other thing I fucking hated about the game when it first shipped was the police were like OP. When the game first came out, if you ever pissed off a police officer, like even bumped into their car, they'd get out and they'd all have skulls over their heads and they would just completely rip you apart no matter like what weapons you had or anything. You were just done. You couldn't run from them. They were just on you instantly and you were dead. And I noticed that they fixed it. Oh, by the way, I hit the not enough memory issue. They still can't fix again. So I was like, now the cops, like if you can actually fight the cops and kill them and get away from them pretty easily. Like I would say it was actually easier than GTA 5 to elude cops, even at level 3 stars.
At least until you get to the max tech guys. That's bonkers.
Oh, I don't think I messed
that's like
with that.
5. That's like the top level cops.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, I just finished the main storyline. And by the way, does anybody in here know how many? We were talking about this before the stream. Does anybody know how many endings there are for Cyberpunk? Because I got a really shitty ending, and I have to hope that there's a better ending for me. Because
there are better endings. You did all kinds of bad stuff.
I fucked up really bad. I ended up like fucking on a space station and killed Johnny Silverhand and fucking had to have 6 months to live in Arasaka. I'm like Arasaka's Arab boy. Like I fucked up everything. Like somehow I ended up with like the worst ending possible. I can't imagine there's a worse ending than this unless V dies. Like short of V dying, I'm pretty sure I got the worst ending that there is. Like literally, I'm like depressed. Everybody's like calling me on the phone, wondering where the hell I am. I was, and I honestly didn't think the decisions I made would have led me there. Like I thought the decisions I made, like Johnny would still be alive somewhere in a construct and the game would go on. But no, when it ended and it told me how much of a piece of shit I was like, oh my God, dude. Oh yeah, the sex scenes. I saw that. I think it got censored, but somebody said the sex scenes are fucking crazy. They are. Yeah. That is an explicit game, man. Cyberpunk, holy shit. So. Holy shit, man. I walked up to a hooker and she's like, hey, you want to pay me $100? I'm like, sure. Well, you got it. It's GTA 5. First thing you do is go pay a hooker, right? But the difference is, thank goodness Xander wasn't in the room, because the next thing you know, you're in a hotel room with like a completely naked girl. He's just railing her sideways, every fucking position. And they show everything. There's literally full frontal nudity in this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was surprised when Johnny Silverhand's like talking to his girlfriend or whatever after he rails her and she gets up off the couch. She's walking around. She's got like a little bush and everything. I'm like, what the shit? Like, they're really? But I wasn't that surprised, because when I did the character creation screen, I took off all the clothes and gave my guy like a massive elephant wiener. And it had like jiggle physics.
Oh, yeah.
When you rotated the model, his weenie was so big, it was like flopping back and forth. And I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I think this is going to be a different kind of game. Yeah, this is definitely not a game you want.
Kind of game.
This is definitely not a game you want like your young kids playing for sure. But yeah, I didn't get to rail Pan Am like you did.
Wah.
And I basically have 6 months to live and I'm a virgin. Except for no, Johnny did steal my body at one point. I will say that there was a decision that I made where Johnny kind of fucking lied to me, and that's kind of what pissed me off about him. And then he went and got like super drunk, fucked up my body, tattooed it, went and had sex with some hooker, got in a car accident. It was bad. I don't think you went down that path though, because you made better decisions with Johnny. So he didn't.
I did all the good stuff. I had him reconnect with his old girlfriend. Like he took over the body at that point, and I don't know if they hooked up or not, but I remember there was like a scene where they're talking to each other and all that stuff. I did all the good stuff. We were buddies and all that. And I don't remember if they were able to like pull him out and save him, or if he, or if he just agreed to like let me take over, something like that. I can't remember exactly how, but it was a generally good ending.
Did he still talk? Did he still talk to you like when you continued the game after that point? Did he still like interact or talk to you?
There was definitely a separation. But I can't remember if he dies or if they're able to like pull him out safely.
With my ending, he definitely died because I wake up and I'm like, hey, where's Johnny? And they're like, hey, we shredded his engram just like we promised. They're like, we pulled it out of your head and put it in a shredder. I'm like, God damn.
I want to say that there was a way that he was able to survive. Like the both of us were able to survive, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I actually finished it. I only ever finished it the one time. I need to reinstall it and play it again.
I might have to go back to my save point before I go into Arasaka Tower and make some different decisions. Like tell that lady to fuck off and say I'm not going to help her family, like get her brother or whatever. Is David Hewlett coming back to the stream? Yeah, he's just busy last week and this week. He'll probably be back next week. So, was the Ice Barbarian big? Oh, you talking about the wiener? That's funny. Priscilla's like wiener girth. Wow, dude, I was shocked at how big how big and girthy that wiener was that you could add to your character. Here's the funny thing too. You know, in Cyberpunk, you can just take off all your clothes and just run around with your weenie hanging out, and like everybody acts like it's normal. It's so funny. It's so funny. I think there was one place in the game where there was a comment made when my character was naked, but everywhere else it was fine. Like I could just run around the streets naked with my dong flopping around, and like nobody ever said anything about it. I think it would have been really funny. I think it would have been really funny if CD Projekt Red had made like the people on the street like run away from you or say make comments when you were naked or pantsless. That would have been funny because I think it's just weird. I found it weird that you can just run around the game completely buck ass naked and get into fights and like go up and talk to people and nobody even mentions it.
It makes sense though because it's like a post like I don't know quite the right word for it, but. Like, just think of all of the body mods and stuff that are going on. It would totally make sense that nobody would bat an eye at somebody being naked. Like,
that is true.
You got a big dude who's basically mostly robot, and you've got like people. You're right. You know, I can swap my eyeballs out and stuff. Like, they're beyond that sort of like silliness when it comes to body shaming or body ickiness and stuff. Like, it's so past that in the culture and the society.
I think it would have been funny.
I'm sure there's words here that I'm missing.
It would have been funny if they went like the Solid Snake route though. Like if you ever played any of the Metal Gear games, it's like Snake, the clothes he wears and the disguises he wears and the things he does like affects interactions with other characters. And I always thought that was amazing. Like I want to play I can't afford it right now, but when I can afford it, I want to play Snake Eater. So that's
that's like a remaster or something.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like it's a remaster of like Metal Gear Solid like 4, I think it is, or something like that. Or maybe it's like 2. I can't remember, but yeah, it's a complete remake. I never played the original. So I'm really looking forward to playing it. And it's funny because like if you put on like, you know, a costume or something like that, like the person that's with you will like make fun of you depending on the costume that you're wearing.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, like when you get a medal, like at the end of the game, if one of the endings is you get a medal for like, you know, you're now the big boss or whatever. And the president at the time, because it's back in the past. It's like this is Solid Snake when he was younger back in like the 70s. And so the president pins a medal on you if you don't have a shirt on. If your character doesn't have a shirt on when you go in to get the medal pinned to you, he walks up and pins it into your flesh. And Snake's like sitting there going, making these faces, and then he goes over, and then another person pins another medal on him, and then the bad guy or whatever comes through and pins like 64 more medals onto him. At the end, his whole chest is just covered with medals, like they're skinny. He's just sitting there going, like his face is all fucked up, like he's in massive pain. And that's all just because you went in without a shirt. Like you didn't put a shirt on before you went in to meet the president to get your medal.
That's cool.
And I thought that was really, really hilarious. Or like, you know, if you put on the alligator costume, the enemies will laugh at you. Like if you just change the alligator costume in the middle of a fight, all the enemies start cracking up and laughing and making fun of you for like putting on such a dumbass looking outfit. I like that. I think that's cool. Like that attention to detail that they have in Metal Gear games is just mind blowing. But fun. You have to think about with Cyberpunk, the fact that there are so many decisions that you make that change the game, yet they were able to get it stable. Like where you can literally go around, do anything in any order, switch quests whenever you want. I mean, the only time you can't switch quests is at the very end of the game when you're doing the final mission, when you go into Arasaka Tower. And I don't even know if like is that the final mission for everybody, or if you pick different things, is there like different endings with different?
No,
or is it always Arasaka?
I think that is because there's a certain point you'll reach where it's like, okay, like once we go in, you can't do anything else. Like we're in the end. You have to. You're gonna finish basically. So yeah, I think the main storyline is similar.
This is what Alex said. Imagine your wife waking up and seeing Xander playing Cyberpunk with the guy's wang hanging out. To be fair, Xander did walk in when I was doing the character generator and the guy's wang was hanging out. And all he said, he looked at it and he goes, wow, his wiener's got jiggle physics. And then he walked out. I started laughing. Oh my God, dude. He's hilarious. He's hilarious. But yeah, I'm glad he wasn't in there when the sex scene happened because that was super explicit. Like my son, I don't care if he like looks at nudity and stuff like that, but it's a little awkward when it's like, Johnny Silverhand railing a hooker, with like full on every angle you could possibly think of with the camera with zero censorship. And I will say the graphics in Cyberpunk are amazing. Like the character movements and the way people walk and the way they move and everything like that. It is so fluid and it pulls you in. Like the story really, really pulls you in. I will say it's a slow start though. Like when you first start it tries to do the tutorial missions. Like where, it throws you some easy missions, to kind of give you an idea, and then it kind of talks to you and walks you through things and the mechanics of the game, so you have to learn them. But once you learn everything and you're comfortable with like doing net hacks, because like you have to do the game does a pretty good job of making you do everything to beat the enemies. Like I'm sure you could build a character that's like tanked on weapons or tanked on a katana, and where you just go kill the shit out of everything without having to use any net runner skills. But the net runner skills are badass. Like, I love that you can just like pull up on people and like fuck up their implants. You can like take control of a car and run over a bunch of enemies. I thought that was badass. Like you can literally you can roll up on a bad guy in a car. Like the bad guys are shooting at you and you can hack their car, take control of it and just slam it into a building and just kill everybody. And then go loot their corpses. And I was like, and then the cool thing is like when you kill the corpses, if they, it doesn't want to keep them rendered all the time because it's like, it's taking up resources. So they'll stay there for a good long time. But if you go away and come back, there'll be like little baggies of the shit that was on them that you could pick up. So instead of rendering the whole person, it just leaves like a little doggy baggie of the shit that was on them. So you don't miss out on stuff just because you didn't grab it really quick. You can come back and get it. And I think that's pretty cool that they do that. Alex said, what's worse, Cyberpunk sex scenes or the two dogs humping on GTA 5? Oh my God. Well, I'm not going to say worse. I mean, there's nothing wrong with people humping. Like that's just nature, man. Nature just taking its course. And $100 is $100, right? So, or I should say 100 eddies. 100 eddies is 100 eddies because everything's $0. But yeah, I had a great time playing the game. I thought that was amazing. It was a good distraction. I'm laid up in bed feeling like shit, and it actually did take my mind somewhere else for a while.
Good.
And so I'd play it in little stints, in between like sleeping and taking naps and stuff like that. But it really pulled me, especially the ending. The ending I did all in one go.
Nice.
Like the ending I probably played for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours because I had to see what the ending was going to be. And then when I saw the ending that I got, I was like, fuck, how did I manage to get the worst ending? I wasn't even trying either. Like I wasn't trying to get the worst ending. Like I was just doing I thought that the whole goal was Johnny Silverhand agreed that he was going to give me my body back and he was going to be gone. And he agreed that he wasn't the real Johnny Silverhand. He was just a copy of his engrams. It was weird, man. It was fucking weird. Let's see here. Hold on. I gotta do math here really quick. Calc. Let's see, was it 28 times 3? Yes. 8 mg. Okay, cool. She was worried that the pharmacy wasn't giving me because they changed my prescription, so she doesn't know that there's going to be way less pills because they're a higher dose. So it's like it's less pills but more dosage. So I wonder whose penis Cyberpunk is based off of. Feel bad, probably the developer. If I was the developer or the artist writing that, I just gotta go look in the mirror and take inspiration. Or maybe it's his mind's eye of what he wish he had. The overall story of the Metal Gear Solid games is really good. At some point, there's an actual fake version of the big boss, and I think the one you play as in Metal Gear Solid 5 was one of the fakes. Dude, the turns and twists in Metal Gear are amazing. If you've never played Metal Gear, highly recommend it. It's one of those games that a lot of them have a slow burn in the beginning because it wants you to really learn the mechanics before it throws you into the thick of it. But once you get into the actual game and the story and stuff, God, the writing is amazing.
They do, yeah. I've seen some like I think I beat Metal Gear Solid way back in the day, PS1, PS2, something like that. And yeah, even I mean it's very anti-military industrial complex kind of stuff. It's really it's good. Yeah. But they do a good job of it, you know.
It's hard for a game to make me cry, but I actually cried during Metal Gear Solid 3. Like Guns, I think it was Guns of the Patriot. Like there's parts in that just jerk at your heartstrings. And the storytelling was absolutely just beautiful throughout the thing. The voice acting is top notch. It's fucking amazing. Then I played what was the one with the fucking where you can put the balloons on people and like airlift them out of the zone? God, I can't remember.
Wasn't that a Call of Duty?
Yeah,
wasn't that a Call of Duty game or a Battlefield game?
that was Metal Gear, where you like hooked the balloon on him. It was called like the something evacuation system.
I know that's a legit thing though. Like they actually
they did that. Yeah, they did that like back in World War II. Like that was the thing, like hooking balloons onto shit and like and then an airplane flies by with a hook or whatever and grabs the fucking balloon. And yeah, that was wild that they did that. And humans actually did that shit. Like imagine being a human. Yeah. You hook a fucking balloon on you, it takes you up in the air with a tether hanging down, and an airplane with a hook grabs the hook and fucking like whisks you off. Oh, that was Metal Gear. That was Metal Gear Solid 5. Okay. So that was, and I didn't finish that one. That was the one Metal Gear I didn't finish. I just installed it because I already owned it. I installed the PS4 version on the PS5, and I think I'm going to play through that again next. Just before I get to Snake Eater. Or I also didn't play Phantom Pain. Phantom Pain is so there's 2 Metal Gear Solid games I haven't played yet. Phantom Pain and which is the latest game in the I think in the whole chronology, but Snake Eater is the remake. So it's a remake of an older game, so it's like way back in time when it starts off and like Solid Snake doesn't even have an eye patch, right? He gets the eye patch throughout the game. Oh. Like he loses his eye throughout that game. So I love Metal Gear. I think Metal Gear is fucking tits, man. Like honestly, I can't wait to play through it. The thing is,
I wish Ubisoft would do something with Splinter Cell. I've heard that they're making. I know there's a Netflix cartoon coming, and there's been some rumor that they're working on like maybe a remaster or something because the animators for the show were told to like remove some stuff that's like, oh well, you can't do that because of something. So there's some rumors that they're coming out with either a new game or a remaster or something, but Splinter Cell is, man, they should, it's bumming me out. That's such a good franchise and they're dropping the ball, man.
Wait, Snake Eater is a remake of 3. Now it's called Metal Gear 3 Delta, Metal Gear 3 Solid Delta.
Oh, okay.
So Snake Eater was the original game. Now it's called Delta. Okay, gotcha.
I was gonna say like, yeah, Snake Eater was an older game. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, you actually can eat snakes. Like you actually can eat snakes for nourishment in the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of got shitted on a little bit because of the weird survival stuff that they added to the game.
Yeah, you can throw like grenades inside of like alligators and like vaporize them. like they'll actually, if they open their mouth and you chuck a grenade, it goes in their mouth and then they close their mouth and it blows up.
Filter. Siphon Filter was cool, man. I remember that was like one of the first games where like you shoot the bodies and like the arms and stuff would come off. Yeah,
I've never heard of that. What game? Siphon
That's like
Filter?
old PS1 game. I think there was a PC version maybe. But
I've never even heard of that. I'll have to check that out. I don't mind playing older games. A lot of older games I still really enjoy.
Yeah, if I remember right, that was one of the first ones where like you had outside of like Quake, kind of where you had like Gibbs, but like you'd shoot the bad guys and like parts would fall off. You could like blast their arm off before killing them and that kind of stuff. And then once they were dead, you could pow and chop them all to pieces.
You know, another fun game is RoboCop Delta City.
Oh, that newer one?
Have you played that at all?
I have it in my library. I think I must have picked it up cheap or something.
I bet you'd like it. It's actually pretty fun.
I've seen some good clips and stuff. It looks neat. Yeah,
like
I've seen you kicking dudes down the hallways, bounce off the fucking walls and stuff. Yeah,
and it's weird. It's like an alternate, kind of like an alternate time. It feels like an alternate timeline.
Okay.
Like where like I know like one of the bosses that you fight is Kane, but it's not Kane. It's got the old man in it instead of Kane. But it's like the same body. I don't know if that's like because it's in the future. From what, like after Kane got killed, they kept the body, they fixed it, and then they put the old man in it instead. But man, the storytelling is pretty good. It's very faithful to RoboCop. The music and the soundtrack and the way that it kicks up and ramps up during fights and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Like, don't get me wrong, the graphics aren't like super amazing or anything. It feels like last generation graphics. It feels like they use a dated engine. But the gameplay itself, the way that when you're like zooming in to like shoot at people, it's like his digital view. Like where you see all the targets and lock onto them and then like do the gun. You could do like a thing where it's like kind of like how you do the net hacks in Cyberpunk. You like slow down time and you're like target, and then he pulls out his gun. And he's like and like shoots 3 guys faster than you could ever do it by yourself.
Yeah,
like bullet time. It's super fucking cool. I actually played it for a little while. I didn't get to go all the way through it because I got distracted by a bunch of shit going on in my life. But I did play it for like a couple of days, and I was like, you know what, this is a solid game. This is good times. It's got it's got a lot of little missions and like side missions. Go stop the drug dealers and. Then you got like the main storyline where it's like, you're standing up against like the, what is it, OCP trying to create Delta City and all that and the criminality of it. But I like that they focus more on Murphy being like him. Like it's not just RoboCop. It's like he knows he's Murphy.
Yeah.
And he's got more attitude and more like, sarcasm and stuff like he did in the original. And I fucking love it. I think it's great. Irene said, I'll see what I can get. I still play Arena and Daggerfall. So I'm sure the graphics won't bother me too much.
Very cool.
As a matter of fact, I've actually been thinking about hooking up my PlayStation 3 again just to play through Metal Gear Solid 3 again.
Right on, yeah, man.
Because it was just, the story was amazing. It's been so long that I've forgotten so much of it, so it'd be fun to like play through again. But it's one of those games where it's like, yeah, there's moments where like you get attached to characters, and when they die, it really fucks with you. Like actually, one of the weirdest ones that it literally made me bawl my eyes out is, do you remember in Halo? Or not Halo. Sorry, not Halo. My God.
I was gonna say Halo had some heart wrenching stuff, man.
It did with Cortana and stuff. Yeah, but fuck, what was it called? Not Metal Gear. Gears of War. Gears of War 2. When Dom dies, that fucked me up. Sure. That made I bawled my eyes out. I think that was that Metal Gear 2 or Metal Gear 3. I want to say Metal Gear 2.
Gears of War.
But Gears of War. Sorry, my brain is fucked.
That's okay. You said it right the first time.
Yeah, so Dom is like the brother of Marcus, the main guy, right? And that they really get you to love Dom. He becomes a super lovable character. You're like, he's gonna be here to the end. These guys fight great together. It's fucking awesome. Like, these are the brothers. And then he fucking kills himself to like save everybody. And it is the most heart-wrenching, the way that they wrote it, the way that they shot it, the cinematography and everything. Fucking, I was fucked up after that. Like, I had to take a break. Like, I had to pause the fucking game. I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, holy shit. When a game can pull you in like that, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I will say that Cyberpunk did come close. Like, it did come close. Like, again,
well, if you weren't playing like a POS, man.
I know. My first playthrough, I'm just like killing civilians, murdering cops left and right. Like, I was a pretty bad boy. Like, I will say that like most of my eddies came from murdering cops and selling their shit. Because that's the thing. I will say that they fucked up. Like it used to be that the cops were impossible to beat, but now on I played it through on normal, by the way, on normal difficulty. You can put it on a lower difficulty. That's basically like if you just want to like play through the story and just participate, but everything's just, you're not going to get killed by anybody. There is a mode for that, but I decided to play on normal because I wanted to keep it real. And the cops were surprisingly easy to defeat. Like I would just start like shooting fucking people. I'd accidentally hit a civilian. I'd be like killing guys that I had a warrant on, and I'd take them down. I accidentally hit a civilian with a stray bullet, and the cops would be like, "Oh, we got to get him!" And the cops show up, and start shooting me. What am I supposed to do, right? So I turn around to shoot the cops. More cops show up. I shoot them and kill them too. Now I got like 5 cop cars, 20 dead cops. I loot all their bodies, and then I steal somebody's car and drive off and run away from the cops. And then within 2 minutes, all the stars are gone, and now I've got a free car and all those police officers shit. And I was like, and there are some weird like problems with the game, like logic problems. Like for instance, you can kill a cop, then go hide, let it cool down, then come out right after it cools down, and the cops will be still like walking around the area where they were searching for you. And then you can jump in the cop car of the cop that you just killed and drive off in front of another cop, and they don't do anything or say anything. And now you just got a free cop car that just hauls ass that you can just drive around town in. So I thought that was a little weird. I thought it was weird that you could just straight up fucking murder a cop and steal his car, like right in front of another cop. And as long as you let your stars cool down, they're like, oh yeah, go ahead, take the car. It's yours. Yeah, you can have it. It's yours.
Yeah.
It's fine. He was dead. He wasn't using it anyways. So there's like little logic things like that to kind of take out the immersion just a little bit here and there. But I will say that as long as you follow the storyline, and you play it in earnest, it's a lot of fun.
It's good.
It's a lot of
all
fun.
around. Yeah. And I like how like the different builds and stuff are really viable all around. Like you can, yeah.
There's so many side missions too. I feel like I'm gonna be playing it for another fucking 50 hours just to get through all the shit.
You can do all the cop missions, the cyber psycho stuff. Then there's like the random pop up stuff as you're driving around. There's like crimes that are happening and stuff, and you just come across random gangsters and shit. You can just stop them from robbing citizens and that kind of stuff, or weird battles going on between different gangs and stuff. You can just get involved with and. Yeah, what do they call it? Emergent stuff like that. Yeah.
It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Like you end up building a contact list that's massive. Like you can go into your phone and just like randomly call fixers, and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, I got a job for you. Hey, I got a job for you." And it's like they always got something for you to do. And so like right now, I probably have 30 missions I've accepted that I haven't done yet. And I finished the game, but they're still in my queue. And I probably did a good 50 missions before I went into Arasaka. So, and then there's still way more than that because there's tons of fixers I haven't even gotten a job from yet. They just called me and let me know. Because if you drive into their territory, the fixer will call you and be like, "Hey, I got jobs. Call me if you ever want a job." And all you do is call them up on your phone, and they'll be like, "Hey, I got a job for you." And the way that they do the immersion on some of the jobs is really cool too. Like it'll be like only certain clubs are open at certain times. Mm-hmm. You can only meet people or call people at certain times, otherwise you get their voicemail. You have to like find like the cyberpunks that are like moving around the city and stuff like that. Like a lot of the missions are, the cops will deputize you to go take out these cyberpunks that are like trying to take over the city. And you basically have to drive around looking for these guys and you have to find them. And you can like sneak up and do a sneak attack where you kill somebody from behind and it does unlimited damage as long as you can sneak up on them. Yeah. So I did find one boss in the game and I knew this because I watched a YouTube video beforehand. So this is like one of the few clues I had. And I can't remember which character it was. I think it was like this like super strong lady that had like fucking razors on her arms or whatever. And when she was talking and doing her dialogue, I ran and I did a teleport behind her, spun around, was standing right behind her, and she was doing her whole dialogue thinking I'm on the other side of the room. And then as soon as she's done with her dialogue, it goes into battle mode. I hit square and I fucking grab her and stab her in the neck and drop her to the ground.
Nice.
And I fucking kill a boss. This is supposed to be a boss battle that's supposed to last like 10 minutes. And I fucking get the jump on her, like right in front of her face. Because while she's talking, she's not registering that you're an enemy. So you get behind her. And then as soon as it goes into combat mode, she starts looking for you. But you're standing right behind her in range. And then you try to stab her. And I tried to do the same thing to the robot guy, the big robot guy that you got to kill.
Atom Smasher.
Yeah, so I tried to do it to Atom Smasher, and that didn't go over so hot. Like, the same trick didn't work on him. But it did work on the lady. I thought that was funny, so I kept trying to do that. Like, every time I'd get in a boss battle, I'd try to get behind him if I could. But that was the only one I was able to do that on. But I thought that was funny that I could get behind her and just stab her. And I watched that in a YouTube video where somebody was talking about, like, all the weird bugs and Cyberpunk. And I didn't hit any of the other bugs. That's how vast the game is. I watched a video with, like, 20 different bugs and like 20 different missions that you can exploit, and I only ever found one through my whole playthrough. Nice. That's how like few of the missions I went through, right? But yeah, I just thought that was funny. I just jumped behind her, just stabbed her in the neck, and she's like fucking dead. And it's like that's like this like character that you're supposed to go through like multiple waves of battle with. And so it's unlimited damage if you can sneak attack somebody and stab them in the neck. It's unlimited damage. And then you can throw their body in a dumpster if you don't want it to be found, because there is a stealth aspect to the game too. Like I haven't played through on the stealth aspect. But when you kill somebody, if you don't hide the body and a cop comes across it, they'll sometimes give you a star and come looking for you. Mm-hmm. If you're in a mission and you kill one of the guys and you throw him in you don't throw him in a bin, you leave him out in the open. If one of the other guards ever gets line of sight with that body, they immediately go into high alert and start looking for you. So there is a way that you play through. It's like if you can stealth kill the people and like throw them in a bin or throw them in a box or hide the body, you're better off. Are those the Radiant missions? I don't think so. That doesn't ring a bell.
Well, that's how Skyrim does it. They use a Radiant system like that.
What does that mean?
I think that's what they called their like generative or emergent gameplay stuff. They called it their Radiant. So it's like after a fashion. It is kind of like that. Like when you're driving around in Cyberpunk, you'll get these little dots on the map where like, you know, it'll be either like two gangs are shooting at each other, or like you'll hear somebody getting robbed or whatever, and you can go and jump in and you know, help.
Yeah,
with
like
that
if the cops
kind
are
of
if the cops are like in a shootout with a gang, like robbing a bank or something like that, you can actually jump in and help the cops.
Yeah.
You just got to be really careful, because if one stray bullet hits a cop, the cops all bear down on you and start attacking you.
It's such a pain in the butt.
That's
you
one
gotta be
thing.
really careful.
That's probably my one complaint with the game that kind of breaks immersion, is that the police have zero tolerance. If you tap their police car, they go fucking nuts. Like if you just bump into it, you rear end them or whatever, it's like they get out and just start shooting you. If you're in a fight trying to help them, and it's clear that you're helping them, like you're actually shooting the enemy, and a stray bullet hits them, or you slam into them too hard, like you do your sprint, and you fucking whack into them. Anything that does any amount of damage will immediately put them into high alert, and then all the other cops bear down on you and start shooting.
Yeah,
and I hate that, because I'm trying to help you guys, but it's like you got to be so fucking careful, like knowing where your shots are going. As a matter of fact, I guess you could say that's an air of realism, because in real life, if the cops are in a shootout and somebody fucking shoots one of the cops accidentally, and they're not going to really know what's going on, right? They're going to just, oh, that guy's shooting us now, we got to fucking take him out. But God, such a good game. Yeah, Magneto, Cyberpunk, fantastic game. I will say a little bit of a slow burn at first, and I will say that Johnny Silverhand, as much as they advertise him in the trailers and selling the game, and Keanu, you know, goes up and talks to everybody, he's a big part of the game, don't get me wrong, but that fucker don't come into the game till like 7 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I had to play the game for 7 or 8 hours before he was even fucking mentioned.
The prologue is like 90 minutes. Like, you don't even get past the initial, like, intro, you know, for like, it's like an hour and a half before the game even really starts. So
that's right. Yeah, like, because you have to do all the like little tutorial shit.
Yeah.
And then once you get out of that, then it plays the intro to the game, talking about the city and everything. Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, I was like, I was under the impression.
This is fantastic. I think that was a really cool way.
It really was. That was a neat way to do it. And I will say this, you know, I said that it didn't really pull at my heartstrings. I kind of lied, because it actually did. I forgot when his buddy dies. You have
that sucks, man. Jackie dying. Spoilers, by the way. Oops. So whatever. It's like a 4-year-old game.
Yeah. And then his mother calls you, and she's like fucking like heartbroken and depressed and shit. And it's like,
you end up getting his motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like, he would want you to have it. And I'm like, fuck, man. That's bro.
and you feel responsible for like getting Jackie killed and shit. And it's
seriously do. Like, this sucks, man. I wish there was some way of saving him, but it's like you can't. That's hard.
I got so mad when I found out his body got jacked, though. Like later on in the game, you find out, like, you think he's buried and he's at peace, and then later on you find out that he actually got fucking like jacked while they were like preparing him for burial. Like Vic was like preparing, like removing his implants and everything, like getting him ready for burial or whatever, and it fucking Arasaka's coming in like jack his body, and you never get his body back. At least I don't know. There may be a mission later on, like a side quest to go get his body back, but it's like, you're like, oh shit, I just talked to his mom and she's all grieving and she thinks he's like buried, because Vic told her she's buried, but he wasn't. His body was stolen, and that's never rectified, as far as I know. Through the playthrough, that was never rectified. So it's like my best buddy who, and in the beginning of the game, they do this whole like video, what would you call that, like a cinematic, right? They do this whole cinematic of him and Jackie becoming best pals and doing robberies and drinking and dancing and going to clubs and doing jobs together and biz and in the cars and shootouts and stuff. They do this whole big montage to basically establish like how close you become to this guy. You know, it's like he's like your best fucking pal in the world that you can't do anything without, right? And he dies in like a really shitty way, and you feel responsible for it. And it's like, goddamn. And I know that I don't think there's any playthrough where Jackie survives. Like Jackie has to die.
It's built into the into the prologue or whatever.
Because that's the only way you get Johnny Silverhand, right? Because he's literally the one keeping his chip alive, and then when he dies, he passes the chip to you.
Yeah.
And when he removes the chip, that kills him basically, because anybody that has that chip in their head, if they remove it, they die. So it's like, oh dude, it was so fucking, and then you got to go talk to his girlfriend, and she's all fucking busted up about it. It's like, oh, it's like, god damn it. But then Johnny Silverhand comes along, and he's such a dick that you forget about Jackie because you're too busy dealing with this guy who's an absolute prick. I didn't expect that either. I thought that Keanu was going to be like this, like really good character. Like I thought he was gonna, don't get me wrong, he plays a great character, but I thought he was going to be like a nice guy, and he was going to like, he wanted to help you, and he was
he's an anarchist.
No,
he's
he is
hardcore fucking anti-corpo.
He is an asshole, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they do everything in the game to make you just fucking want to hate this guy. This guy is just a dick. He only cares about his principle above all else, and he only cares about his legacy, and fuck everybody else, and he'll burn anybody he has to do to get to what he wants. Dude literally sets off like fucking nukes in the middle of a city and killing a bunch of innocent people and shit just because he wants to fuck with Arasaka.
Well, you're right. Yeah, like but if you do get on good with them and stuff, you kind of learn a little bit, and you can kind of adjust some of that and whatnot. I need
to do another playthrough.
It's another really good like sort of like takedown of corporatism and anarchy and humanism and stuff. It's pretty. It can be pretty deep if you look at it in that way. It's pretty cool,
dude. I'd love to see a Cyberpunk movie.
Oh, that'd be rad, especially like a prequel. Yeah, like Sorka was saying, Sorak 311. Yeah, man. That would be super rad.
Like when Silverhand was still alive, like the rise of Silverhand.
Even a short film. Like it doesn't even have to be like a full feature length. I'd do like a quick 30-minute, like something 100%. They did like with Secret Level kind of thing. Yeah, I think that'd be rad. By the way, go watch Secret Level. That shit is so cool. Every single one of them is freaking rad as heck.
I have to say the Warhammer one was fucking amazing.
So gorgeous.
Oh my god.
I think it's at the very beginning.
Yeah, I'm not even a Warhammer. I'm not a big Warhammer fan. Like I've never played Warhammer games. I've never played like the board game or anything. I know people are really into it, but I watched the cinematic and I was like, God damn, this is beautiful. Like this needs to be like a movie needs to come out of this.
That very beginning. I think it's the very beginning where it's like all dark and they're killing that stuff with like the glowing blue blood stuff. Oh wow, that was so good looking, man.
Dude, that was wild when they're
Edge Runners. I need to watch that. That was like they did that on Netflix. Was it Cyberpunk Edge Runners? Yeah, I gotta watch that. That was kind of a prequel. That's kind of a prequel-ish or side story stuff. Yeah, it's kind of anime-ish.
Called Cyberpunk
the
Edge
art style.
Runners.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, it's an anime. Okay. Oh wow. So yeah, this is literally Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Oh man, if you haven't watched Arcane, and if you haven't watched Arcane, holy cow! I don't even like League of Legends, but Arcane, some of the best animation and like story, gorgeous fucking visuals.
I watched the first season and I fell off, but I agree, it is a beautiful show. It is a beautiful show. Like they really like pull out all the stops for that. Hey, I keep missing this one. I'm sorry, Histario, you've been so patient, dude. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat earlier.
Cyberpunk dystopia. Maybe that's how cops are supposed to be. Oh,
he said. So Histario, his question was, "Hey guys, I was wondering if you have any thoughts on Peter Thiel and his company Palantir. I don't know much. I just know it's a surveillance company, dude. Palantir is fucking nuts,
bad,
dude. They are bad people. I mean, the Palantir. I forget the main guy, not Peter Thiel, but the guy who owns Palantir.
The whole thing is bad.
Fuck, I can't remember the guy's name, but he basically thrives on being evil. Like he loves being the evil guy. And he's like, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I'm going to collect everybody's information and I'm going to be able to predict everything in the future. And I'll know everything before anybody else even knows it. And fuck anybody who cares. Like that's not, I don't care if I can do it and I'm going to do it. That's what he literally said. He's like, I don't give a shit what people say. I'm going to do it. I don't care if people like me or not. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. So yeah. And if you don't know Palantir, they make a bunch of, weapons for the US government, like including like drones, a lot of drone stuff, lot of automated things. Like that's like their big thing. But their latest thing that's really been scaring people is their data collection. So they have a project that's basically trying to collect as much data on everybody as humanly possible, even from like cameras on the streets, people's phones, GPS, radio signals, everything you can possibly gather to figure out everything about a person. They're doing and they're collecting. And people don't like that. And they're like, fuck you, we don't care. This is how we make our money. We can sell this information to people. People are willing to pay a premium for it. Pele said, do you have a favorite chassis for for his media PC? What's that little chassis that mine's built in? You built mine in, Ox?
The SG10?
Yeah, is that what it is? The SG10?
The cube one or the flat one?
It's the flat one.
The flat one, that is the that was the Silverstone FTZ01. I don't think they make that particular model anymore. I've probably just updated it since. It's probably not FTZ01 anymore. But
so this is the one I have, Pele. Here, I'll put it in chat right here. This is the FTZ01. That's awesome.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
I like it. It's actually cool how it comes apart too. Like I think it's cool how they have the GPU in there with the riser.
Yeah.
And the way it comes apart and everything. It's actually, for as compact as the PC is, it's actually really serviceable.
It is.
I had no problem getting a 3080 in there.
If you're going to use that case, I would use the 13900K that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And get a really good low profile cooler for it. And one that has like a full 120 or at least 90 mil fan on it.
It can get a little loud too, so maybe what's a case that has a so what is a good compact case that can do like a 1 or 2 fan AIO cooler?
There's plenty of 120 millimeter AIOs out there. So
yeah, for a media center PC, I'd probably go AIO, because my biggest problem that I have on my media center PC is at full trot when that graphics card's like screaming. Oh my god, it sounds like a fucking vacuum cleaner. It is really loud. And
that's why I would stay away from a flat looking one unless it's a little thicker. Like the FTZL1 is like about the size of like an old school VCR.
Yeah.
And I think you could probably get like 80 mil, like tall. I'm not sure how tall what the max tall height of that is. But I would look more toward like a cube one, or actually I think Fractal has a kind of a neat looking flat guy. They've done some really cool looking. They've done some really good looking cases that are meant to like blend in with your entertainment system centers,
like where it looks like a stereo or looks like a DVD player or whatever.
The mood is a cool looking one. It's very fabric. It's more of a tower, but still small. But it kind of looks like a bookcase speaker almost.
Does anybody make a media center PC case like that looks like a stereo with like the actual silver feed on it? That's like high
that'd
profile.
Be so cool.
They used to make tons of them back in the day back when Windows Media Center was a thing.
Yeah,
there was tons of companies that were selling these PCs that literally looked like stereos. They even had like LCDs on the front that would like change with software and Windows and stuff, and it would like you could change channels and shit. It was awesome.
GAM DS dual chamber panoramic. I'm just saying dual chamber. I'm immediately like, I don't know about that. But let me look at this. Usually dual chamber, they'll have the power supply in a different, like behind the.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Behind the motherboard or something.
This is actually a really pretty case.
All right, let's take a look at this thing.
It's only $149 on Amazon right now. It looks like you can mount it on its side. You can do it on its side, or you can do it upright.
That doesn't look bad.
Dude, I like how the panels pull off. It looks like the top panel and the side panel basically just come off toolless.
I would totally have this on its side. I would take the feet off and have this on its side. 100%. It's cool. Does it come in black?
I don't know. Yes, it looks like you can put the feet on the bottom or on the side. Yeah. If you go down to the last picture, you can have it in either orientation.
This is pretty cool. Just from the quick look on the Amazon page here, I'm liking this. It's probably
4.7 stars.
Oh god, it's huge fucking mungous though. It's EATX.
It is big.
Holy cow. So I am very anti-big case. I don't think anybody ever needs anything more than an MATX.
One, if you have room, I'm all for it. Two, the cooling will be silent because this big ass case will hold in all the sound.
So big. It is so big. Holy cow. Huge.
I know this basically is just wait a second. If you turn it on its side, is it the same width as a stereo receiver, or is it wider?
It's gonna be monstrous.
Let me look. Yeah, that is pretty.
I need to see this. I need to see this in context against like a soda can or something.
Okay,
holy cow.
I clicked on it and I found another picture of it actually set up on a desk. Did you see that picture? Here,
where's that at?
Here, let me send you a link to it. Here,
because I'm against gigantic cases in a like vehemently. Nobody needs anything. Generally, the 89% of the humanity doesn't need anything bigger than an MATX. And
this thing's massive. You could put a 420, or it looks like they got a 360 fucking graphics card in there. They got a dual AIO, 220 millimeter AIO.
Dude,
yeah, this is pretty damn big.
I mean, look,
if it fits though, if it fits, go for it.
You sent me a link to a height case. This isn't the one we're looking at.
Oh wait, what did I send you a link to? Height? Oh, that's not a height case.
No, it's Gamidas.
You're right. That was a different case.
GamDS.
I think
RGB.
I clicked
similar, but
I clicked on a link. I think that said like, something similar. Click on this. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this one is, yeah, that is big though. You're right.
Yeah.
Just looking at the bays in the back, like look how many bays there are
It's
for
huge.
cards.
It's-
1, 2, 3,
yeah.
4, 5, 6,
I
7.
mean, it looks cool though. I would totally, if I had to use this case, I would set it up horizontal mode.
The airflow in it looks insane too. Like
I bet.
it's great at the bottom, great at the top, so you can do like full air pass through bottom to top, side to side. That's pretty cool.
We need to compare the FTZ01 to penis signs. This guy's hardcore about the dicks, man.
He likes the dicks, man. What can I say? This one right here. Let me grab this one really quick.
The Teenage Engineering Computer one. Yeah, that looks cool. I just wish they would actually produce more.
If I was making another media center PC, this is the case I'd use. This would fit great in my entertainment center. I just put a link there.
Get out of here, man.
What, dude? What? What's wrong?
This is offensive.
What's wrong? Why would anybody make a case like that? That is an abomination.
This is so weird.
That is a straight up abomination.
Like, I'll build one if you pay me, but I'm not going to do this out of choice. Like,
what do you think about open
weird.
cases? What do you think about this?
I'm for it. I like them. Here, let me show you this thing.
I think this is titties. I just pulled one up at $62. $62 you can buy this thing.
Like, I got this thing.
Oh, dude, that looks strikingly similar to what I just posted a link to.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm for it. They're cool. Yeah. Whoops.
Whoopsie daisies. I think that looks sick. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like the whole just open air motif. Like you don't have to worry about airflow through the case because you just airflow through the room.
Yeah.
Like I bet you the GPU probably runs nice and cool with that. Like the ones that try to suck air in
This
through
is
the
cool.
side.
Oh, and it's just extruded aluminum too. The frame itself is just extruded aluminum.
You're right. Dude,
With,
it's only $62.
Yeah, because it's cheap, and that's the MATX version.
Yeah, the ITX version is $52. Like you
I'd get this. This is cool.
That's pretty sweet. I mean, honestly, I think it's cool to show off hardware like that.
Yeah,
like, if you're gonna build a PC, like show that shit off, man. Like show the inner workings.
Some of a lot of the hardware manufacturers are making cool looking hardware. So like, yeah.
I display that case on my desk all day long.
Yeah, this is neat.
Like, I mean, granted, you got to spend some time on wiring and stuff with something like that because you don't want it to look all ghetto. But it's open, so you can run all the wires around the back. Nobody can know.
Yeah, I would do some custom cables or something for that. Just shorten them up, really.
I'm gonna do a search for here. Media center PC cases. I want to see if anybody makes ones that look like stereos anymore because I thought that was
Remember
the shit.
Shuttle made one that had like a FM radio built into it.
I remember that. Yep.
It was like an all-in-one kind of PC. Like I think all you did was drop a CPU and RAM or something and you know that kind of stuff. It was like a bare bones. It was a bare bones little shuttle thing, and it had it had an FM radio built in. You could put audio CDs into it, and it would play them without having to turn the PC on. That kind of thing. That was so cool. I loved that thing so bad. That was freaking awesome.
Oh, it's too bad this it's out of stock and out of production. But this is exactly what I was talking about. Here, I'll send you. I'll put a link. It's a Silverstone case. So this is what reminds me of like the old media center case. Like this one has a screen on the front. It's got a bunch of buttons that you can map the macros.
Yeah,
you put your CD-ROM in there. You got a thing you pop open. The
terrible industrial design though. It looks like a fucking 4U rack.
I mean, yeah, but if you look at it from the front with the feet, it's designed to sit on top of your stereo. It's like the same width as your stereo, so it's designed to blend in with your other equipment.
Which that's cool. Like, yeah, that's true. Looking from the front of this, that's not bad.
That's what I like about it. It's like you slide this into your like entertainment center, and it looks like it belongs there. Like it's got a brushed aluminum plate on the front.
Right.
I love the buttons. I love the idea of all the buttons on the front. Like you don't just got a power button and a reset button. You also got buttons for like opening up media center, channel up, channel down, volume up, volume down. That you can map the things. You know, I'm sure it just plugs into your motherboard with a USB thing and creates keyboard macros. But they don't make it anymore. This is a case that's no longer in production. So and it looks like most of these, like as I'm scrolling through and looking at like these cases that look like stereos, it looks like all of these are pretty much discontinued, which is really sad because man, some of this shit is badass. Like if I wanted to put something in my rack, this is what I would want. I would want something that looks like a stereo, like legit.
Yeah, I agree.
Like here's another great example. Here, where's here? Let me click on this one. This is from. Have you heard of a company called Nvidia? Does that ring any bells?
Mm-mm.
So Nvidia. This is a write up. Here, I'll put this right here. This is badass. Like if you scroll down, very plain looking. If somebody saw that, they would think it's just a component in your stereo case.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it. DVD player at the top. It almost looks like a really expensive DVD player.
Yeah,
that's what neat. It looks like a really premium DVD player. And it's got an actual LCD like screen on the front of it that shows, information. And then the front has all the ports, like for audio in, video in. So it's got a capture card in it, USB, all that stuff. God, this is a whole.
This is very cool.
And it literally says home theater PC on the front of it. It's like they just don't make cases like this anymore. It looks like everybody's opted to go with like super low profiles, extra tiny, stuff behind shit where nobody sees. I will say I do like those little cube cases though. Like my other PC that's in the living room, the HTPC that you guys built me, that's the box, the cube.
SG10.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like that style of case. I know the power supplies in them are kind of a bitch, but the case,
okay.
The case.
At least it took a full
awesome.
ATX power supply.
No, seriously, it has a full ATX in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the one that had the wonky ass power supply. Is that the one that's in the room? Is the one in the room the one that has the special power supply? Sorry, the flat one that we just looked at earlier. Is that the
that
one
would have an SFX power supply?
That's what it is. Okay, I knew one of them had a wonky power supply that was non-standard.
I know. I mean, that is a standard. It is a standard SFX.
It's
small.
SFX power supply. Here, let me see.
And then they have SFX-L, which is a little longer by about, I don't know, half inch or so.
Wow,
Silverstone.
okay.
Silverstone actually, I think it's Silverstone. No, Seasonic. Seasonic makes 1,000 watt SFX-L
That's
power supply.
insane for how tiny this is.
Yeah.
But I've actually seen a 2,000 watt power supply now. Like in full ATX, there's a 2,000 watt power supply, and I'm like, how the hell are they doing that?
I think Superflower has a 3,000 watt ATX power supply.
That would require a 20 amp breaker, if I'm not mistaken. Like you
yes,
plug
the 2,000 even. That's like you would have a hard. It would be difficult if you had anything else plugged in on that circuit to have a 2,000 watt power supply on it. It'd have to be on its own circuit because that is
15. Yeah, you're right. 1,800 watts.
Max.
Yeah, 1,800 watts is max for a 15 amp circuit.
Yep.
Wow. And to be honest, most people don't even have 120 volts. Like most people are like 111 to 114 at their outlet, so you can't even get to 1,800 without blowing the breaker.
Yeah.
Wow, I couldn't imagine that, having to have a 20 amp breaker. I'm curious though, in new construction, because you lived in a relatively new house, right? Like when you got your house, did that have 20 amp breakers common, or was it still 15 amp for all the rooms and stuff?
I think they were.
They were 20 amp?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like on new construction, because it seems like with as power hungry as computers and video game consoles and shit are, that they do 20 standard now. I
would routinely in my garage where I had like my Plex server. I had the Plex server, a refrigerator, like my drill chargers and stuff. All 3 plugs in the garage. 4 plugs, 3 plugs.
Okay.
3 sockets in the garage were all on one circuit. I had my Plex server, a refrigerator, my drill chargers and stuff, and like the charger for the lawnmower battery, and the home level 1 home charger for the spaceship. Yeah. I would routinely pop the circuit on that. Like if everything kicked up all at the same time, it would pop the thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then my Plex server would turn off, and I'd go out there and I'd have to fucking click, turn the whole garage back on. Oh, because the garage door opener too was on it was all on the same circuit, and I was like, this fucking sucks.
The same thing. The same thing happened with my bedroom, because I have one of those freestanding air conditioners, and every time it kicks on, it dims the lights down like super low. Yep. And I had to install a UPS on like the TV and the stereo and the game consoles and the PC, because if I didn't have a UPS on there, when the AC kicked on, it would pull the current down so much that it would either pop the breaker or it would cycle the TV or cycle the other electronics. Yep. Now I put a UPS on it, and it's like whenever the AC kicks on, the compressor kicks on, I hear click, 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 and it's all the UPSs in the room taking over for a second to balance the load until the AC settles, and then it goes back on power. So that's probably why I have to replace my fucking UPS batteries every like 3 or 4 years, because they're just cycling like a motherfucker constantly to like keep the breaker from dying. But yeah, I think I need to take the wall plate off and look at if you ever have a device that's like pulling the lights down when it kicks on, that has like a really hard start. if you have those those outlets where the people just stick the wires through the back, through the little holes, and it like retains it, those sometimes will melt and burn through, and that can be a fire hazard. So, and then the loose connection creates even more resistance. So every time the hard load kicks on, it pulls down the power even more because it's arcing in the wall. And I've caught that twice in my house now. I don't know if all I did was put a new outlet in and put the wire around the screw terminals instead of through the little quick connects on the back. And that solved the problem completely. And it also prevented the lights from coming down as much. So yeah, just quick tip. I'm not an electrician or anything like that, but yeah, just so you know, yeah, turn all the power off to your house before you fuck with anything in the wall. And not just one breaker. Be sure, unless you have power testing equipment, you know what the fuck you're doing. Just turn off the breaker to the whole house. Just cut the whole fucking power to the whole house if you're gonna work on an outlet. But yeah, just taking the wires out. If you find that there's like burn marks around it, or it looks like it's really hot and it's melty, just fucking cut it off, restrip it, and put it around the screw and screw it down. And that solved my problem when that happened. Also, don't put extension cords on air conditioners. I learned that one the hard way too. Actually, I take that back. You can put an extension on a conditioner. You just have to make sure that it's a really heavy gauge. Has to be a really heavy duty one, because people are like, you can't use extension cords on air conditioners. No, the reason they say don't use extension cords is because most extension cords aren't rated for fucking 1800 watts or whatever an air conditioner pulls. So they literally melt and they become a fire hazard.
Yeah,
or they burn you. But if you get a heavy duty one, like if you get a cable that's rated for like a 20 amp rated freaking extension cord, then it's fine, because it's no different than the wire in the wall. If the wire in the wall was the same length to go into another room at the far side of your house, you'd get the exact same resistance as going through that. So but if it's smaller wires, that's where the resistance goes up and it starts getting hot, and then your cord turns into a heater element. That actually happened when I was mining cryptocurrency back in the day. I had my shed. So this is kind of a funny story. So it's wintertime, it's snowing, and I have an extension cord running out of my house into my shed and running all my crypto miners at the time. I think it was like 2,000 watts of crypto miners running on a 20 amp breaker, and I'm running it through a fucking extension cord from like Walmart. And it's fine. Everything's running. Everything's working great. But then it starts snowing, and I go outside, and there's snow on the ground, except for in one spot, there's an area that's about this wide all the way between the shed and the house that there isn't a single flake of snow. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. So I go over and I step on the extension cord, and my foot just mashes it flat. The whole housing was so hot. Even it was freezing cold outside. The housing was so hot on the extension cord that when I stepped on it, it literally melted down flat to the wires. So I almost shorted the cable. So I ran into the shed really quick, unplugged the fucking Bitcoin miners, because I was like, oh shit. But the cable was so hot that the shielding on the cable, the rubber shielding on the outside of the cable, was completely melted. And it was actually smoldering when I stepped on it. Like when I stepped on it, it started smoking right there. I was like, holy shit. So that cable was running like that for like 4 or 5 months. It was just sitting out there, like almost turning to liquid, carrying the power out to the shed. And that could have easily turned to a fire. If it had melted in the contact, well, actually, it probably would have thrown the breaker. But still, that's a dangerous situation to have a wire that hot. Like if I had touched it, it would have burned me. That's how hot it was.
Yeah, dude. No joke.
And so I learned my lesson with extension cords, that if you're going to use an extension cord with a high drawing appliance or motor or something like that, like an air compressor or something, make sure it is a heavy duty ass extension cable, like an actual one, not one that looks like it's heavy duty. Like the wires inside of it are actually a heavier gauge than what you have in your wall. Hey Gimpy, what's up, my man? He said, that was what started the fire in my house. I had everything Aux mentioned in the garage, but the house was a 1958 build. Oh, and being 58, you probably had you didn't have breakers, you had fuses. Yeah, fuses. And dude, those fuses do not blow fast. Breakers, they blow instantaneously. Fuses, not so much. People can die with a fuse. Like you can die before the fuse blows. So, and the problem with fuses is if the load comes up slowly, they take a shitload more power before they blow. So like if the power comes up really, really sharply, they'll burn out and save you. But if it's an appliance that just slowly amps up the power and draws more and more and more as you're turning more and more stuff on, you can actually exceed the fuse, and it'll be glowing red hot inside of that little glass, but it won't vaporize. And that happened to us too when I was growing up, because we had fuses in my house that I grew up in, and we eventually became such a problem that we actually had an electrician come out, which my family was dirt poor. Like hiring anybody to do anything was like, life or death situation. And so we had an electrician come out that luckily was like a friend of the family, so he didn't charge us an arm and a leg. But yeah, he took out that entire fuse box and replaced it with a breaker box. And as soon as he did that, it's like we all felt safer. We thought the house was going to fucking burn down a couple of times, because I crossed I put a cable on backwards. I reversed the polarity on a cable, like the neutral, and you wouldn't think that would do much, but on a TV, apparently it does. The CRT, the fucking cable like started arcing and shooting sparks out, and then it got super fucking hot, and the outlet looked like it was about ready to catch on fire. Yeah, and I was afraid to touch anything, so I'm just sitting there watching it like slowly try to burn the house down. Did the fuse blow? Nope.
Yeesh.
Nope. It literally just sat there until the cable was almost on fire before, I yelled, and my dad ran into the back room and fucking threw the main thing for the house to kill all the power to the house because he couldn't pull the fuse out because it was too hot. So yeah, not a good thing to have. Not a good problem.
All right, don't do that.
Oh, hey, can you give me a second? I gotta go take a pee-pee.
Fine.
All right, let me go drain my wang. I'll be right back.
Everything's modern now for electric. Yeah. Same issue in a little apartment. Dealing with the lights flickering. Yep. They do that. Actually, I have a similar thing. I have one of the room ACs in my living room, and I think every once in a while, it draws enough power that it kills my little PC, my little mini PC, my mini PC, making it reboot. It's a pain in the butt. Like it's not enough to actually like flip the breaker or whatever, but it's enough to it like browns out the fucking that particular circuit and makes my little PC have to reboot. Because my breakers here flip when I have too many fans. Yep. Do you see Honda's bringing back the Prelude? Yes. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that'll be a good one. If you're supposed to see outlet, would your hair look like your beard? Nah. I've zapped myself with household current a bunch of times. It's not that bad. I mean, I guess technically it's enough that it like I think technically it could kill you, but highly unlikely. If I build a house, my computer area will have dedicated outlets. It should. I think so. If things had gone differently, I was gonna have 220 volt, 15, 20 amp circuits, and then one 220 volt one for the level 2 charger.
I have to make a confession.
You pooped.
Yes, I did. So my confession is, and don't worry, it's not much of a confession because I did find out that it's okay. But I had 2 extra outlets put in, 2 electrical outlets on their own circuit, wired on the outside of the house to the nerd cave because I was drawing too much power up here and I was blowing the 15 amp breaker, right? So years ago, I had an electrician come out. They ran conduit on the outside of the house. It comes up into 2 junction boxes. One comes through here on this wall. One comes through on the other side where the 3D printers used to be and all that. And so there were 2 15 amp breakers that they put in. But then I got a UPS that had the little side plug. And I was like, what the fuck's this side plug? It doesn't plug in. That's a 20 amp plug. So 20 amp plugs look like this. So that's 15 amp. That's 20 amp, right? The little plug. So if you ever see the ones that got that. So I had a 2,000 watt UPS that needed the 20 amp breaker. So I was like, what are my options here? I was like, I just paid an electrician. Like it was expensive too. I want to say to run these 2 circuits, it was like $500 or $600. And so I was like, fuck it. I just went down there and I put a 20 amp breaker in. I pulled the 15, put a 20 amp in. And then I used a heat gun to measure, I put it under full load, plugged in the UPS, pulling the full 2,000 watts, and everything was fine. Nothing heated up. And then I found out later, people were like cussing me out, like, don't do that. You're going to burn your fucking house down, blah, blah, blah. Even though the conduit is literally in a metal pipe outside. Like, it's not in the house. It's like, even if it catches fire in the pipe, it won't do anything. It'll just burn in the pipe. But it turns out, I opened up the thing and I read the gauge on the wire and it was the right gauge. It was the right gauge for 20 amp. They just used 15 amp because you can plug the 110 into the 20 amps. They have like a hole that a normal one fits in, and then it's got like a little side crease so the side blade can go in too. Yeah. They just didn't have the right outlets because I told them I wanted 20 amp circuits. Then they leave and I'm like, I got 2 15s, but I was like, fuck it works because I have 2 15s. So that's 30 amps for the whole room. That's still enough. But then when I got this UPS that I got a screaming deal on, I didn't notice that it was a 20 amper. So I was like, fuck. So I changed out the plug. and I changed out the breaker, and it worked, and still working to this day. and I went down there, but I did open it up and I checked it because somebody scared me. They're like, hey man, if this is not the right gauge of wire, it's going to catch fire and blah, 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 burn your house down. So I checked and it was the right gauge. So what those guys did is they came out and they installed the right wire, but they didn't have the right outlet. And because they didn't have the right outlet, they didn't put in the 20 amp breaker, because if you put a 20 amp breaker on an outlet that's not a 20 amp, that like violates some electrical code, right? They have to match. The breaker has to match the outlet. So they're just like, they didn't even tell me. They just installed a regular outlet because I didn't know any better. I thought for 20 amps, I just needed 20 amps, not for a single device, but for the whole room. So therefore, I didn't need to pull 20 amps from a single plug. But then I was like, when I got the UPS, I did need to pull the full 20 amps because, the UPS needs to charge itself, and it's a 2,000 watt UPS. So I was like, fuck it. I did it, and it all ended up working out in the end. But I do not recommend that. Do not willy-nilly just fucking put 20 amp breakers in your box.
Yeah, right.
Because the wire in your wall will get much hotter. And if it's a long enough run, it can get hot enough to burn the insulation off of it and then short and start a fire on the wall. Because even if your breaker, there's a lot of things that a breaker can stop, right? Like a dead short, the breaker will immediately click and you're good. But when you're talking about heat slowly building up in a cable and like creating a heating element, like an incandescent light bulb, and just slowly burn, the breaker is unaware of that happening. As long as it doesn't exceed the 20 amps, it's not going to throw the breaker. And then it's going to burn through. And unless it shorts to something to stop that process, it'll just keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter until it eventually ignites something that it runs across. And, in a lot of houses, all the framing is wood, right? So these wires are running through conduit between this wood. So if it's plastic conduit and it melts through that plastic conduit, it could burn the wood. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with shit like that. Don't fuck around with electricity. That's what I'm going to say. Just don't fuck with electricity.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it. It scares the shit out of me. I've had to install like 3 or 4 outlets in this house over the 20-some years I lived here. And I fucking hate it. Every time I've done it, I turn off the entire power to the whole house and use a flashlight. I do not fuck around because I've been electrocuted with 110 way too many times during my life, and it fucking sucks. I do not recommend it.
I was just telling him when you were gone, I was like, I was at myself a few times. It's not that bad.
I mean, if it's just for a second, yes. But if you get your hands stuck around it and you can't let go because your muscles contract, that fucking sucks.
That's bad news, Bears. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I had that happen also with a car coil. My dad started his fucking race car.
Dude, now that'll kill you. That's fucked up.
My dad almost killed me a million times as a kid.
Dude.
My dad literally...
Ignition's like fucking 20,000 volts, man.
Hey,
like,
this wasn't a normal. This wasn't even a normal coil. It was a fucking 50,000 volt MSD ignition, race ignition.
Yeah.
So here's what my dad does. My dad's like fucking. I've told you guys so many stories about my dad where he almost killed me, right? Mm-hmm. Either on purpose or on accident. And so I was probably at the time, I'm going to say 10 or 11, maybe even a little younger. I might have been 9 or 10. And my dad's building his Gran Torino race car that, by the way, he never raced because it was always broken and he could never fix it because my dad's the king of buying broken shit that no matter how much money you dump into it, it'll never work right. So he builds this Gran Torino. He's working on it for like a year. He gets a 50,000 volt MSD ignition that he's installing in it because he's like, oh, this is going to give me so much more horsepower, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know.
The ignition.
So he installs it. The car won't start. So he comes over and he's like, hey, I got to check and see if it's got spark. He comes over and he puts my hand on the fucking boot of the oh no, it was the cable coming out of the ignition coil, and he pulls the boot off. So all it is the little metal nub on the end of it. Wow. And he says, hold this up against the block and tell me if you see a spark. Jeez. So he hands it to me, and I choke up on it, and I'm grabbing the metal at the top, and I put it up against the block, but not close enough to the block that it's less resistance than going through my body. So he hits the ignition coil, and I just fucking go flying back into a blueberry bush. Yeah, literally, dude. It was like a movie, man. It was like my legs just tensed up and launched me like a catapult into this bush behind me. My dad gets out, what the fuck did you do? Blah, blah. He doesn't even care. I'm like sitting there fucking crying. I'm like super tired. I'm feeling drunk as fuck. Like I'm all messed up. And he's like, what the fuck did you do? Did you grab the end of the cable? He never told me not to. Right. I don't know this shit. I'm a kid. I don't know what the fucking ignition is or how to... He's just like, tell me if this sparks. Hold this here and tell me if it sparks. And I did, and it fucked me up bad. So that was one of the big jolts I got. But that was like a momentary jolt. The worst jolt I ever got in my entire life was when I was at the Mother's Board Computers computer store, and I was replacing a fuse and a power supply. And as I was pushing the fuse into the power supply, somebody turned on the power strip that I turned off.
Oof.
Because instead of unplugging the power supply, I just turned off the power strip because it's just easier to flip the switch on the side of the thing, right?
Yeah,
so I flip
yeah.
somebody else comes by, plugs something in, I don't notice, and they flip the switch right as I'm putting the fucking fuse in the thing. My two fingers get jammed against the terminal. My hand goes like this, jerks into the power supply. Now I'm touching all the capacitors, everything in the power supply. And the power supply just going, and I just go like this. I just ink up, I fall into the table.
Yeah,
and
dude.
I go, and people are looking at me like, what the fuck's wrong with him? And it took him probably a good 2-3 seconds before they're like, oh shit, he's getting electrocuted. So then somebody ran over really quick and ripped the fucking cord out of the wall to the power strip. And I remember I just collapsed to the ground. And I couldn't move my arms. I couldn't move my legs. I was shaking. I was struggling to breathe. They're like, hey, should we call 911? I'm like, no, I don't got insurance. I don't got insurance. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. So I sat there for like 30, 45 minutes on the ground. They brought me some water. And I was so fucked up, I couldn't work the rest of the day. They're like, hey, why don't you go home and rest? So I had to drive home with my legs barely working. My arms felt like Gumby. I felt really sick. All my muscles were like super bruised. And so the next day I wake up and I couldn't even fucking move. Ugh. Like my muscles were so distended. I like tore the muscles in my arms and in my legs.
Yeah,
I was super fucked up for days. It was bad. It was really bad. So what you got to be careful with, especially, and I didn't think AC did this. I thought AC was the opposite. I thought AC would like kick you off when it cycled. No, it fucking causes every muscle in your body to clench up as hard as it can. Yeesh. So if you grab a wire and it starts electrocuting you, you can't let go. Because that electricity that's hitting your hand that's flowing through your body is causing the muscles to tense up. And what it causes every muscle to tense up. So your hand like goes sideways and you contorts like this. And it's like you're doing motions you couldn't even do if you wanted to. Like that power is pushing all your limits. And it fucking sucked. That hurt me bad. I was fucked up for a good probably week or two. And I still had side effects after that.
Yeah.
And
that's no joke, man.
And then the third worst shock I ever got was working on a computer monitor, a CRT.
Oh yeah, that's no joke too, man. Those lasers, you're not supposed to get back in there.
That fucking what do they call it? The flyback. The flyback holds like hundreds of thousands of volts of charge.
Yeah, dude.
And
those capacitors are no joke.
Dude, it's so fucked up. So what you're supposed to do, and I didn't know this at the time because I was trying to change there's two screws in every CRT. There's two screws you can turn to change the brightness, like how much power is going to the electron gun. And you can also change the focus of the electron gun to make it like blurry or sharp. So if your monitor starts getting blurry or it starts getting like weird artifacts and shit that you can't fix with a degauss, then you go in and you fuck with these two knobs. And I'd done it a million times before, but this time I go in there with a screwdriver that had a wooden handle, and apparently it didn't insulate enough. And so I stuck it through the little hole. It's like operation. You have to stick it through this metal plate that's a ground plane for the I didn't know this at the time. But it's the ground plane for the capacitors. You're supposed to put the screwdriver on it and touch it to another thing to discharge it. I didn't do that. So I stuck it in there, and the wooden handle must have been wet, or it must have had something that allowed it to conduct electricity through it. Because when I touched the wall of the thing, it welded the screwdriver to the flyback plate, and it fucking threw me into the wall behind me, and I went into the drywall and got stuck between the studs. So my mom comes running in the hallway because she hears a massive thud, and she opens the door, and I'm literally in between the studs and the wall like this, all fucking crumpled up. Can't even fall to the ground. She's like, oh my God, what happened? And I'm like, she's like, oh fuck, oh my God, we need to take him to the hospital. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. And but yeah, that one also fucked me up pretty bad. Like my heart was like skipping beats and shit for like a couple of hours. I felt really, really messed up. And that was like, I was lucky to be alive because I found out those flybacks kill people. People literally die from that. The only thing I can think of is that the wooden handle on the screwdriver gave just enough insulation that I took a heavy hit, but there was enough resistance in the wood that I didn't get the full brunt of it. But if I had got the full brunt, it would have stopped my heart. 100% would have stopped my heart. So yeah, learn from old Barnacules' childhood lessons.
Seriously,
don't fuck with 110. Don't fuck with 12 volts. 12 volts DC, fine. Knock yourself out. Have fun. Fucking car batteries and 9-volt batteries, lick them to your heart's content and shit. But when you start fucking with higher voltage, with higher amperage, that's not a great combination. I mean, technically 12 volts is even dangerous if you get the amps high enough. But I think the skin effect will protect you mostly from 12 volts. I think you need a lot higher voltage than 12.
Most. I mean, like, dude, 9-volt battery, right? It's like what, an amp and a half. You can touch that, and it's not enough to even zap. You got to touch your wet tongue before it'll even zap you. But yeah, man. or 12 volts. You could grab both posts of a car battery just fine. The amperage just in the battery isn't enough to do anything. You can, yeah.
Oh, dude, no way. Hold on here. All right, fix that.
But yeah, right. Yeah, Theodorus, he's like, that's the thing. It's the resistance.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's the thing. Like 12 volts, it just goes through your skin, right? It just travels across your skin. When it's higher voltage, it goes through the skin and gets into your tissues and into your organs.
Yeah.
And the other thing you got to do is, what is it, the one hand rule? I heard there's a one hand rule. Anytime you're fucking with electrical stuff, use one hand, because if you breach a circuit or something, the electricity will go through your hand, but it won't go through your body. If you're using both hands and you complete a circuit, then it has to go through your heart. So like if you grab a positive and a negative on 110, that voltage makes a circuit through your heart, and that can stop your heart. However, if you grabbed both wires with one hand, it's still going to shock the piss out of you, but it's just going to shock your hand and the tissues around here because it's going to travel through like this. It wants to take the path of least resistance. So you always want to have one hand anytime you can. Just use one hand, because if you do get electrocuted, then you're not going to stop your heart. That's what I've heard. I don't know. Are there any electricians in here that can confirm or deny that? Like, I don't know. but that's what I've heard, is the one hand rule can literally save your ass when you're messing with electricity. The real killer is the amp. The amp and what? Gimpy said, I thought you were going to confess to falling into romantic love with your bidet. I do love my bidet. I could not live without a bidet. Honestly, I recommend it for everybody. Once, even a cold water bidet. It doesn't have to be a heated bidet. I'll tell you, people are like, oh my God, first time they use a non-heated bidet, they're like, oh God, that's cold. Oh shit. Oh, it's a little bit of a shock, but I swear, you use it like 3 or 4 times and you adjust, and pretty soon you don't feel the cold at all. It can be the dead of winter. Your lines can be almost frozen. Your body will adapt to it, and you will not feel the cold at all. Like, your body will adjust to it. And so now anytime I use a bidet, even if it's not a heated bidet and it's like freezing ass cold, doesn't make a difference. Nice. It's like, you just got to get used to the targeting is the important part. You got to get it. You build a muscle memory of where it's going to spray. If it's not one of the fancy ones that, like, uses a camera to like find your beehole and aim directly at it. If you got the cheap one like me, it always aims at exactly the same spot relative to the seat. So you basically just program your mind. If I sit on the seat at exactly this angle and I turn it on, it's always going to hit like a laser beam perfectly on the beehole. And if you do that, you're good. If you miss and it hits you in the balls, that'll wake you up. That'll wake you up real quick. But yeah, once you get used to the targeting mechanics, you got it hands down. Gamers Unite said, I took an electrician's course in college, and the images of high voltage versus human aftermath was enough for me not to mess with electricity. Oh yeah, like people's limbs getting blown off and shit from like high voltage power lines. That shit's scary. Hysterio said, I thought it was when you receive 2 different voltages is when it shocks. No. No, you're just completing a circuit. That's what happens when you're getting electrocuted. It's because you completed a circuit. For the power to go from A to B, it had to go through you.
Just think of licking a 9-volt battery.
Yep.
It's your sloppy tongue is very low resistance, so it zaps you.
Yep, and your saliva is with the salt in it, it's highly conductive. So it allows that electricity to flow across the surface of your tongue really well, and it gives you a hell of a little jolt. Mm-hmm. But again, the skin effect protects you, so it's not like penetrating deep into your tongue. It's just electrocuting the skin on the outside. And like the skin effect will protect you, like even with 12 volts, if you get hit with 12 volts, it doesn't feel good. But it's not like going to stop your heart because it's going around your heart. Your skin is acting like a Faraday cage in a way.
It's the amperage anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but once you start pumping up the amps, then that shit starts penetrating. Yeah, I believe even 12 volts. I believe even 12 volts at like super high amperage has the potential to do damage. So, I mean, I don't know. The skin effect would probably still protect your internal organs.
I feel like voltage is like a deterrent, right? Like think like the Jurassic Park fences. It's a 10,000 volts or whatever, right? But it's probably at a, relatively low amperage. But so like it hurt. 120 volts hurts, but it's only 15 amps, right? Like that's not that bad. But if it's more, it could ease. I mean, 15 I think is still enough to kill you. But
so it's okay. So here's the thing with 12 volts. If your skin is dry, the skin effect will protect you, regardless of amperage. However, 12 volts can be dangerous if your skin is wet. It says water lowers the skin resistance dramatically. So if you're wet or submerged in liquid, then low voltage can become risky. If If you have broken skin or internal exposure, so like your skin, the skin has been torn off or whatever, and 12 volts is applied directly to the internal tissues via a medical device or, like a cauterizer or whatever, the risk increases. High capacity, so it says high current capacity, a 12-volt source like a car battery can deliver hundreds of amps, which could cause a burn or start a fire if you short-circuited it. And by the way, car batteries, you can weld with a car battery. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos, but you can take two 12-volt car batteries and put them in series to create 24 volts, hook jumper cables to it, and literally put one of those welding rods, the arc welding rods, stick one of those in the actual clamp of the jumper cables, ground it, and fucking weld steel together. Like, I've seen it before. It's like the most redneck thing I've ever seen, but I watched a YouTube video where a guy built an entire fucking car, roll cage, and everything just by using a bank of 12-volt batteries and jumper cables.
Nice.
Like, he didn't even have the proper thing for, like, holding the rod. Like, he just put the jumper cable on it, wrapped it in electrical tape to, like, hold it in place. It was just, like, going to town with his, like, he had a protective glove on. So, yeah, if you can weld steel together, that's still not something I'd want to fuck with, honestly, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Paleo's right though. Amps. That's my brain was like in a weird place. I thought he was talking about like fucking stereo amps or something. No, amps is definitely the killer, not the volts. However, volts determines the penetration. So if it's 12 volts, your skin effect protects you. If it's higher, if it's significantly higher, then your skin doesn't protect you. It just penetrates deep into your tissues. And if it penetrates deep into your tissues, it can stop your heart. So like 12 volts, if I complete the circuit, I get a little bit of a jolt, but it doesn't go to my heart. If it's 110 volts, that shit goes right through the heart, right through the heart. So, and the more amps it is, the harder that hit's going to be, right? It's going to push, because the amps are like push, right? Like the pressure. So like that's how if you try to like think of it like a hose, right? It's like voltage is the volume, amps is the pressure, the push. And so the more amps, the harder the push. And if that electricity has to push that much harder to overcome the resistance of your body, it's going to fucking burn things along the way. Like your heart and your tissues and shit are going to literally like burn and the cells are going to die. The skin resistance won't let enough amps from a 12-volt source unless you're wet. That's the thing is like apparently when you're wet, that changes everything. So don't like fuck with 12-volt batteries while you're like submerged in a bathtub. Then you probably get a nice little shock. Still to this day, I have a fake shock pin on my desk. I actually have a
little piezoelectric things.
Yeah, I actually have a little electric shock device that's designed for bedroom fun time.
Nice.
And I tried it on myself first, and I'm glad I did because that shit went right into the drawer and never to be used again.
Dude, I took a shock collar, right? I got one from my pit bull years and years and years ago. And it was like adjustable, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to zap my dog without knowing like. 100%, I'm not going to zap my dog more than what I'm going to be able to handle. Like, that's fucked up, right?
Yep.
So I fucking strapped that thing to my leg at first, and I go, okay, crank it up. Oh, geez, okay. And then I strapped around my arm, because I'm like, okay, that's my leg, my thighs. I got fucking huge thighs. So, like, I strap it on my arm, and I never cranked it over more than what I was willing to handle. Man, it was like a 6 out of 10 on the dial or whatever. I'm like, it's you go like, oh geez, like that. It was bonkers. Yeah, like the tens. Yeah, like the tens thing. That's fucking crazy, man.
I mean, that's what it basically is. It's like a TENS device where it's like it puts 2 probes gently through the hair onto the surface of the skin, and it just completes that circuit, and the skin effect gives them a nice little jolt. Doesn't hurt anything inside, but it definitely. It definitely sucks, man. Like it sucks. I put a bark collar on before, but I was drunk. Thank God I was drunk because it even hurt like hell being drunk. I was pissed drunk, and we were passing around this dog collar and putting on each other and fucking hitting the button to shock each other with it. Yeah, and we just put it straight up on our necks, and that shit hurt, man. That shit hurt bad. Like
it's because the muscle tightened. More than it's not so much the electricity part. It's the for just a brief half second or whatever.
It's a very small jolt.
It's as strong. It tightens your muscles as stronger than you could do it yourself is the thing. And that's why like, damn, man.
Dude, we had that shit on like Great Dane mode too. Like we put it on the highest fucking voltage it would do.
I never did it at full 10, man. I have no fucking clue what that would have felt like. That's enough.
I will say it was better than the taser though, because we also bought an Amazon taser and got drunk, and everybody would hide the taser in their pocket and go around and stab somebody while they weren't looking. And I got tased like 3 or 4 times in one night, and One of them, it was like in my shoulder blade, like in my back, and it made me throw myself back into the couch. And I screamed. Like, that hurt like hell. And it was one of those cheap little Amazon tasers that's just got the 2 prongs on it.
Yeah,
and and it goes right through a shirt. Like, they're pretty sharp, and you just touch them. Although we weren't touching each other, we were like fucking stabbing each other with this thing, and hitting the button, and it would even make a horrendous noise even with the prongs touching you. So like if you did it without the prongs, it'd go brr, brr, and you'd see like this electric shock between the prongs, like this like arc of plasma. And I was like, fuck that, I don't want to get hit by that or whatever. But then when you touched it at the skin, it still made this weird transformer whine that was like it was bad, dude. It had like, I think it had like 2 of those 18650 batteries in it. Like this wasn't one that ran on 9 volts. This was like the real deal.
Those big chonkers. That's like, yeah.
And it was all metal too. It was like, it looked like something that like a cop would carry in the 80s. And so we were tagging each other with that left and right. We shocked each other so much that we literally ran the batteries dead. It's like, I don't know how many shocks you're supposed to get out of those tasers, but we fucking flatlined the batteries to where it wasn't even hurting anymore at the end of the night. It was just giving you like a pleasant little, it felt like a TENS device, right? There was nothing there. But man, did it penetrate. Like, it wasn't like the dog collar felt like it, like you said, it just made the muscles kind of tense up, and it just felt like a sharp, almost like somebody just slap-sacked you in the throat. And but the taser fucking, or I don't even know if that's what they're called. I think taser might be the one that like shoots. But whatever this fucking thing was, with the 2 barbs, you'd feel that shit deep inside your body. Like, you felt it in your guts. Your intestines and like your ab muscles and shit would get all twerked up. Your chest muscles and your lats or whatever get all fucked up. Your biceps would even like, your hands would be like, when somebody hit you with it. So I don't know what the voltage and amps are on those things, but god damn, that seemed dangerous. But none of us died, so I guess it was, it lived up to its reputation of being non-lethal. Yeah. What's crazy is you can buy this shit on Amazon. Like, I was shocked that you can just fucking go to Amazon and be like, hey, I want to buy a taser. I want to buy a taser. Okay, let's see, what do we got for tasers here? Oh, okay, $10. $10 you can buy a VTS 880 mini stun gun for self-defense. And it's rated 4.7 stars with 64,000 purchases. This actually looks shockingly similar to the one that we used, although the one we used had barbs that were much longer and much sharper. But here, I'll post a link here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oh, not so... God, I fucking had the wrong thing in the clipboard. Hold on here. Okay, my clipboard is no longer working for some reason. Stand by. Hold on. Let me use the other clipboard. There we go. All right, so this right here. You can go on Amazon, fucking free delivery, for $11 buy a fucking taser.
Yeah.
That just seems wrong to me. Like, how the fuck can you buy a taser for $10? Like, oh my god, I don't know what's the voltage. Let's see, is it one of the ones that does like 50,000 volts? Here, let me see. Because they always have some obnoxious voltage rating. Yeah,
like 10,000, 50,000 volts.
Yeah, it's like you look at it, you're like, God, wouldn't that be fucking lethal? Like, it's so much.
No.
Oh yeah, this one they have a video of it showing the plasma arc. So this is definitely super high voltage. You don't get that plasma arc through the air unless you got massively high voltage.
Yeah, but then you got those fucking, they got lighters that do that too.
This is my honest review. I have not accepted, remuneration for my review. I have a feeling uncomfortable walking my dog at night because I have heard on the news that there had been trouble in my neighborhood. So I bought one of these Vipers. The price is good and it makes me feel safer. It arrived within 2 days. I charged it up and took Lucky, my 35-pound rescue mixed breed pup, for a walk. Within a block, a tough-looking man asked me what time it was. I told him it was 10:15, wished him a pleasant evening, and began to head down the street. He grabbed my arm and told me he needed a loan. I had never seen him before, so I declined and tried to walk away. He continued to hold my arm and told me to give me my wallet. I reached for my back pocket. He said, I'm making the right choice, and let go of my arm. I pulled the Viper out of my pocket, jabbed it into his neck, hit the power button for 30 seconds.
Oh, geez.
I really didn't know what to expect, but it worked extremely well. He collapsed after 15 seconds, so I followed him down and gave him the full 30 seconds. He was flopping around and moaning as I walked away. One of his buddies noticed him flopping on the ground and asked me to call 911. I said he'll be fine and continued on. I mean, that's probably a made-up story, but that's fucking hilarious, man. That's hilarious. But yeah, these are all like super positive reviews. The Zap helps nap. What? Nice little zapper, carry it in the dark, non-lethal deterrent. The crackle it makes is pretty intimidating, fun to zap bugs with too.
That's funny. The zap
Fucking
makes
dude.
for a zap nap.
Yeah, and then they make ones. Have you seen the flashlight ones? You can buy a flashlight one for $20. It basically just looks like a regular flashlight, but it's got like prongs around the bulb. And then you just poke the flashlight into them and hit the second button and it fucking jacks them up, right? So these aren't listing the voltage. I wonder if they can't list the voltage because it'll like make Amazon think it's a weapon or something like that. I don't know. They got to be working around the system because I know Amazon's like, hey, I talked to an Amazon person the other day and they're like, oh, we don't sell dangerous things on our platform. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't sell dangerous things.
Yeah.
I was like, I can point to 100 things. You guys sell fucking air guns that are more powerful than like a 50 BMG. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't sell dangerous things. It's like, eat my ass, you don't sell dangerous things. What the fuck? I couldn't believe they said that with a straight face. Oh, here you go. This one looks almost exactly like the taser we were hitting each other with. And this one you get for $25.
Oh, geez. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this is the big boy, like where it's got those fucking sharp little prongs.
Yeah.
In the middle. Yeah, this is
yeah,
very
those nails, I bet those nails like flick out. But ugh.
If they don't, they make a hell of an arc to scare the shit out of people because it makes a loud crackling noise.
Yeah, that crackles. It's like a shotgun. You know, that'll make somebody shit their pants.
Yep, they have so many tasers on here. I just want to think. Oh, you can buy a shooting taser for $55? What?
Nice.
Are you shitting me? These things, I thought these things were like $1,000. I mean, the name brand one probably is. Look at this. This is a fucking. This is the taser that shoots the two prongs with the wires, and it has replaceable cartridges.
Oh, damn.
$55. How many cartridges does it come with? Does it come with 3? If it comes with 3, this is like the deal of the century.
Yeah, 3 of them, yeah.
Comes with 3
5
heads.
meters. Jeez.
8,000 kilovolts. That's 80,000 volts. 80,000 volts, allowing opponent to feel unbearable pain at close range. The attacker contact with a stun gun for 1 to 2 seconds can cause muscle cramps and mental dizziness. And here's the thing, these ones stick into you like with barbs, and they go through clothing. And then you have a button that you just keep hitting to immobilize them. Like if they don't go down, you just fucking hang on that button until they do. And these things are crazy. These things, they have a long distance, 5 meters, so 15 feet. Within 15 feet, this thing's accurate. And it's got 91 4.3 reviews. So no, I mean, it's got a couple bad reviews, but most people seem to like it. I just can't believe you can buy something like that for $55. Dude, like, America. You want to fucking tase somebody 3 times? You want to pull 3 sets of barbs out of your drunken buddies at a fucking barbecue? This is the gun for you. Because I want to say the taser that we were shocking each other with, that was an expensive taser. I want to say that one was a couple $100. So,
yeah, technology's gotten better.
Yeah, the fact that you can get on here now, it's like you can buy like, there's one that looks like a baseball bat for $50. It's a 7 million volt. It's called the lightning rod. It got kind of poor reviews though. 7 million volts stun gun, 18-inch rechargeable device, and it looks like a metal club. Wow. Be honest in chat. How many people here in chat are going to go buy a fucking taser now just because they're so cheap? I mean, I don't have the money right now, but shit, I'd spend fucking $10 just to, make the little noise. Like, oh my God. Dude. Oh shit, that same gun. I just found it for $10 cheaper.
Boom.
Look at this. This is what happens when you have generic ass tasers, right? $39 right there. Get it tomorrow. 22 4-star reviews. This one actually looks slightly different than the other one, like just a tiny bit, but I bet you it's the exact same internals. I'd bet money. And these cartridges, I'm sure, like interchangeable. This is probably like some standard, because even the most expensive tasers, like they have a thing that clips into the front and you just throw it away when you're done, or the wires shoot out. Fucking dude, why did I go down this rabbit hole, dude? Be honest, Docs. You want a taser now, don't you? Come on, bro.
Nah,
you do. Just sit on your couch at night and just
Nah, I just know something bad had happened.
I just can't believe the price. Like, I honestly did not expect that you could buy any taser for $10. Like, even those mall kiosks that you go to, the ones that are selling like, self-defense women taser things or whatever, taser flashlights. They're selling those things for $100+. So that's wild. Pele said, a funny story. A friend of mine was messing with his car alternator and accidentally shorted something. His metal watch arm burned into his wrist. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. That's no joke.
Yeah, I've actually, I have,
12-volt battery, but the current, it's fat. That's a lot in a car.
Do you remember those capacitors they used to put on stereos? Well, they still do. They put them on stereo systems, right? So I had a 1 farad capacitor. That's the one that looks like 2 Coke cans basically stacked together, right? So, hey, thank you, Marty.
Yay, thank you.
Woo! Super appreciate it. Oh my gosh, we appreciate that so much. Thank you. Wait, do you pick tasers like power supplies? Is there a platinum rated one? I'm sure the more expensive ones are more reliable and efficient. I don't know if I'd trust my life to the $50 one, but I'd rather have that than nothing, honestly. So one of the biggest, I avoided being shocked, but I did get blinded by this. And it was, I had a 1 farad capacitor on my stereo system in my Toyota Corolla that I had. I had 2 Rockford Fosgate HL2 DVC subwoofers in the back with a giant ported box. And I had it was a 1500 watt amp. And every time it hit a bass note, the car would actually, like, the ignition would fail and the lights would dim. So I'd be driving down the road and it'd be like, boom, boom. And the car would be like, brr, 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 brr. So I added a capacitor to it. I bought this 1 farad capacitor. And somebody told me how to install it. They're like, yeah, just put it in line with your positive or whatever, and it'll stop. When the bass hits really hard, it'll pull from the capacitor instead of your battery, and it'll be more of a steady current or whatever. And that's what it does when it's in there. Well, I go to install it, and I'm unscrewing the terminals on it. It's fully charged. Like a dumbass, I have a fully charged capacitor. You're supposed to install it, you're supposed to discharge it, then put it in the car. Mine was fully charged because it just came out of a guy's car I bought it from. So it still had the full charge on it. So I'm unscrewing the terminals with a screwdriver, and I drop the screwdriver across the 2 terminals, and it makes an arc so bright. And it's nighttime. I'm just going off of a flashlight in my trunk out in my dad's driveway, and it fucking made the brightest arc that I've ever seen in my life. Like, it literally blinded me. Like, I couldn't see the house, I couldn't see the sky, I couldn't see the ground. I was like, oh shit, my eyes, it burned like sand. Like, it felt like I was like looking at a welding iron. I technically was. So after my vision started coming back, I went back to look at the capacitor because I was like, oh shit, is it going to burn my car down? I go back, the screwdriver was welded across both terminals. So my screwdriver was welded into the nut on both sides, like it sunk into the metal when it hit it. And so I had to actually cut the screwdriver off the fucking terminals so I could twist them out because it was across both. So I had to actually cut them off with a hacksaw so that I could get the screws out. And then I had to go find 2 other screws that fit the hole so I could finish the install. But then the cap was discharged. So after that, I didn't have a problem. But the arc that it created, it like discharged the entire capacitor in like a second. And it welded the screwdriver shaft to the actual capacitor. Like, you could pick up the capacitor and just swing it around. It was like welded to the 2 bolts. And then you couldn't back the bolts out because it's 2 bolts twisted in side by side. But then you got the straight screwdriver welded across. So there's no way to unscrew them. So I had to cut it with a hacksaw. So yeah, it's a good thing I didn't touch that one because that one would have fucked me up because I believe that, well, maybe not because the capacitor is 12 volts. So the skin effect probably would have protected me, but it still would have burned me. Like, my skin probably would have got burned. Weston said, I hope you don't mind I'm listening to you while I do chores. Hey man, any reason why is that rude? However, sadly it is 2:34. Oh yeah. And yeah, I think I'm not gonna stay late today because my back is super fucking killing me. So I'm gonna go take my medication. I can't take my medication on stream because it takes me 30 minutes. 3 times a day, I have to take 30 minutes to dissolve this medication under my tongue without talking. That's really hard. Really hard for me to do. I'm a talker, so it's really hard for me to do. But now I've got my new dosage. So today I start the new dosage. So hopefully this upcoming week things will start returning back to normal. Now that I'm on my higher dosage of the lower effective pain medication. Because the mix of the 2 just wasn't working. It wasn't working out right. All right, guys, I hope you have yourself a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week after that. And I hope to see you back on Twitch next week. Yeah. Because I got it. There's tomorrow. Hey, maybe. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This medication, if the 3 doses I'm going to take today kick in and I wake up tomorrow and I'm feeling like my same old self, I'll come up here and turn it on. You should stream from your bed. Put it on your phone. Just stream. I should stream from the hot tub, honestly. There you go. A lot of people just tell me just going in the hot tub and stream. There's a whole category for it. Why not? I know, right? I should. I'm gonna, bro. All right, you guys have yourself a hell of a weekend and week, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right, peace out. Later, Gimpy. Later, Cryptossi. Later, Ron. Later, Kyle. Acceptable Channel. Weston. George Blakely Jr., who's always here. Oh, Calder, thank you for the $2, man. Woo! You guys are awesome. Love you long time. Mwah.